View Toros and the Mesa Jackrabbits. And today, if you're a Mountain View fan, you got good news. As starting quarterback and three-star quarterback commit Brady Goodman is going to play after taking a hit last week. A lot of speculation on if he was going to play, and I'm alongside my partner here, Matthew McCord. And Matthew, with the news that we got that Goodman's going to play, how should uh how should the Mountain View faithful feel about this contest tonight?
Well, this should feel great. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the state. He's so special, whether it's throwing the ball deep, intermediate passing, run game. He's electric. He helps their offense flow, even within the run game and all their great receivers that they have. Um, their offense was a bit stagnant last week, especially after he got pulled from the game against Liberty, but Liberty tends to do that against most opponents they play. But big positive for Mountain View to start off the night, and it's when they really needed to get back on track.
Absolutely. You mentioned they had a tough matchup last week against Liberty, but Liberty is a high school that's probably, not probably, the best high school football team in the state, but one of the best high schools in the country. This week they're out in Utah playing one of the top schools in high school. So if you're Mountain View, there's nothing to be too ashamed of. And today, this is going to be a good chance to get back on track.
Yep.
I'm Anissa Reynolds from Varsity Sports here with head coach of Mesa High School, Coach Jeremy Hathcock. Coach Jeremy, what is the energy that you're going to be putting into this game today?
Man, I hope we have energy, right? So, personally, as a head coach, I've never lost to Mountain View, but this Mesa has never beaten Mountain View in the last 31 years. So it's definitely one of those games where we got to worry about who we are and really not about what they are and who they are. So if we can just focus one play at a time and bring that kind of one play focus, I think we'll be okay.
And who are some key players that we should look out for tonight?
Cameron Williams, Joe Haney, Junior Marquand. So we got a few good players. And then our left guard, Ian Seamal, he is exciting to watch.
Of course. And what's the game plan for tonight?
Well, I mean, we got to hit the quarterback. We got to get to the quarterback because he's really good. And, we got to bracket their best receiver, Arnett. We feel like he's a threat. And also offensively, we got to run the football. Once we can run the football, we feel like the way they blitz, we're going to create seams and have a fun night.
Okay, thank you, Coach. I'm Anissa Reynolds with Varsity Sports here with Jeremy Hathcock. I'm Anissa Reynolds with Varsity Sports here with Coach Andy Layton of Mountain View. Coach Andy, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good. I hope that our guys are here to show up and play a lot cleaner than last week.
And who are we looking for today? Who are your key players?
We're as good as our quarterback. So, we get Brady back, and we're excited to have him back. And on defense, I think we're led by one of our captains tonight. That's Cannon Rabin. I think he's going to play real well.
And what were you telling your players to get ready for the game tonight?
We just want to make sure that we learn from last week. We correct mistakes, we scrap it, we move on, and we come with physicality, play clean, and play our game.
All right. Thank you, Coach Layton.
Hello, folks. We are back. And to resume kind of where we were left off, if you're Mountain View, this is the home opener. We expect a lot of energy. We expect the crowd and the faithful on both sides to be active and loud. And Matthew, what are some key things that Mountain View should do and will do to start off fast against their crosstown rival?
Well, offensively, it's once again previously just like letting the passing game go. I mean, if you want to do a long methodical drive, that works. But the issue with that is Mesa is a very, very physical football team, and they plan on hitting hard, hitting across the middle, and covering really well. They have a lot of good cover corners. So it's going to be tough for Mountain View, but their addition of Brady Goodman back in the lineup helps a lot.
Yeah, and for Goodman, you have Talon Arnett, one of the best receivers in the state last year, had 24-plus touchdowns. And, for Mountain View, they lost a lot of production offensively last year. This is a team, very similar. Last year, they lost to Liberty, and then they routed off 10 straight wins and marched all the way to the state championship game. So this is a roster that's kind of familiar with this type of trajectory, starting off slow to begin the season and kind of picking up strong. And, for Mountain View and Mesa, this is a good example of Arizona high school football, and we're excited to bring you this game to the people out there. But to talk about Mesa a little bit, they got a new coach, a first-year coach who's kind of bouncing around the states coaching football. And Matthew, we talked to him to start the game, and he is a pretty excited to see how his team responds in this matchup.
Yeah, It's gonna be a lot of running the rock from Mesa, right? They're coming off a win against Shadow Ridge, in which they look really impressive. But they know they have a different beast they got to settle with tonight in Mountain View, a team they haven't beaten in 31 years, which was really a stat that was surprising to both of us for a rivalry. But it's something that his players are looking forward to. They've been in preparation all week for a really important game, and they're going to look to make it very physical and run the ball.
Absolutely. So, as Matthew said, we expect Mesa to kind of go with a ground and pound approach, while as Mountain View, we expect them to air it out. Look, Brady Goodman's one of the best quarterbacks in the state, like we mentioned, 43 touchdowns, 5 interceptions last year. So, I expect Mountain View coming off a 37 nothing loss down in Liberty to air this out early and often. And it'll be interesting to see if they can do the things that they weren't able to do down in Liberty, which was difficult for any team. So, Matthew, what are some things that for the first half we expect from Mountain View to start the game?
Well, let's keep it clean. First of all, let's not get down in with the penalties. Penalties can immediately draw you out of this game, and let's try to get this crowd in. It's a great crowd. It's a Friday night. Big home crowd, big road crowd. Want to take the road crowd out of it immediately if you're Mountain View. So, and want to make this huge home crowd happy for a big rivalry game. So let's get some electricity going. Let's get some big plays going. They know what they got to do. They know what they got to handle. The coach, Mountain View, they said that there's a lot of things they haven't cleaned up last week. They're looking one play by play to just to readjust those things, clean up everything, quarter by quarter, play by play, and it'll set them on their way to maybe 10 more wins in a row, just like last year. We'll see.
We will see as Brady Goodman is out at the coin toss as a captain. So that is a good sign. And folks, we're about to kick this one off very, very soon. Thank you for listening out here. If you're from Arizona and around the country, it's a beautiful night here in Mesa, Arizona. Little sunset in front of us here with the mountains. So it's a great night for Friday Night Lights, Matthew.
Yeah, great night for Friday Night Lights. Sky's nice, not a threat of rain. We've had monsoons. It's been monsoon season out here, so it's been rain and thunder and all that stuff the last few days. So it's good to finally get a clear night and get some good football going. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to see.
After the coin toss, the Toros will kick off.
So the Toros are going to start on defense, it seems, to start this game as they are all on the sideline, as you can see, kind of meeting and getting hype. And this is what high school football is all about. You know, crosstown rivalries, uh, big or small. You know, we mentioned for Mesa, this is a chance to knock off a 3-decade streak. In 31 years since you've been able to be Mountain View. And Mountain View historically has been one of the better football programs in the state. Notable NFL alumni players like tight end Todd Heap back in the day was on the early 2000 Baltimore Ravens. So this is a school rooted and rich in tradition. And for Mesa, this is a chance to really potentially send shockwaves across the state, Matthew, for sure.
Well, you think of it too. It's not just the 31 loss streak, but it's Mountain View's a team that made the 6A state title game last year. They dropped it to Centennial, right? And this year, of course, they're coming into the rankings a year over as one of the top 10 teams in the state once again. And for Mesa, a little bit farther down, if they can find a way to just pull one out here, it would skyrocket their potential, it would skyrocket their confidence, and it would give them something to really look forward to start a season off 2-0 and beat a team you haven't beaten in such a long time. I mean, that's as good of a season you could ask for a first-year head coach as well, and a team that's mainly full of juniors and sophomores. So that would be special for them if they can pull it off.
Absolutely, no doubt, as we are about to kick this one off at Toro Stadium in Mesa, Arizona. And like you said, this would be a program-changing win for Mesa. But for Mountain View, this is a good opportunity to get back on track, get to 500 at 1-1, and get the trajectory back on the season, very similar to the way they did last year, where they won after they lost to Liberty and rattled off 10 straight all the way to the state championship game. We're live here in Mesa as we're about to kick this one off. Thank you for listening. And this one is underway as the kick is sailing through the end zone, and we have a touchback. And the Mesa High Jackrabbits are going to set up shop, Matthew. And I think early and often we're going to see them hand this ball off.
Yeah, handing the ball off is what they did a lot last week. The quarterback play has been a little iffy here and then for Mesa, so It's a lot of young guys that aren't as experienced in terms of how many games they've played and how many good opponents they've played against. So the run game's electric. So they are physical. That's what Mesa really prides himself on. So that's what we're expected to see here early.
Absolutely, as it looks
The
like
quarterback for the Jackrabbits, number 13, Derek Carr.
Mesa has Derek Carr. No, not the Derek Carr from the NFL. This is a Derek Carr in high school, and he's going to start out what looks to be in a shotgun formation in a single back with a single back in the formation, and we are underway at Toro Stadium. First play is going to be a handoff up the middle for about 2 yards as Mountain View does a good job collapsing the backfield there.
Yep, good job getting right through. Penetration right the middle there from Mountain View. They're starting the run off early like we expected.
Number 9.
Mesa going to try to run out a long, methodical drive here, which will really take the crowd out of it for them. But good penetration there from the defensive tackles of Mountain View.
Looks like we got 4 wide receivers in the formation. Carr's going to take the snap. He's going to survey. He's going to throw the ball into elite coverage, and it is knocked away. Really good job by the cornerbacks for
Cash Skousen.
Cash Galson was in there to break up that play, and we got a third down.
Yeah, these cover corners are special for Mountain View, right? They're going man-to-man there. Safety did get over, but Cash Skousen with a great play to almost force an interception there. So already Mesa well behind the sticks on their very first drive.
Third down and 8 with about 11:21 to go on the 20-yard line for Mesa High. Carr's going to take this. It's a fake handoff. It's going to be a run. Evades the first tackle and gets upended around the 30-yard line. Looks like that's going to move the chains for Mesa High. Rio Arnett, who last week had a pretty good day on the ground for Mesa High, had over 4.6 yards per carry. And interesting call, as it actually is going to be marked a yard short for Mesa High. I thought he might have picked up the first down. He got 9 on the carry there.
Well,
and looks like they're going to, at first, looks like they might have went for it. But when you're at your own 30, opportunity to flip the field, Matthew, probably the right decision here for Mesa High.
yeah, it also depends on how coach thinks this game's going to go for Mesa, but he thinks it's a long game. Probably has trust in his defense. And you never know. Could see something here, a little fake or something. But for Mesa, you don't want to be 3rd and 8 behind the sticks all day because that's where Mountain View just lives. It's too hard, especially when you're a run-heavy offense, to convert first downs when you're in 3rd and long. So going to be a little better than that for them, but here's the punt.
Zachary Galiz is going to catch the punt, and he is going to fair catch it around the 38-yard line, but he was hit during that fair catch, so that's going to be fair catch interference. And for Mountain View, they're going to set up shop nicely.
Yep, can't hit a guy when he calls for a fair catch, right? He didn't just hit him, he almost brought him down on the ground. So a little bit of miscommunication there, just not hearing if you're Mesa so far, but get the jitters out early, get the bad penalties out early so you can succeed here late in the game.
And Brady Goodman, like we suspected, is going to start this one for Mountain View and the Toros. This is really
first down.
Personal foul on the Jackrabbits.
As the personal foul is going to set up shop for the Toros at the 50-yard line. And for Goodman and company, this is a good opportunity to start off fast, something they weren't able to do last week. Goodman's going to be in the shotgun, running back right next to him. He's going to take the snap, a quick little bubble screen to number 14, Sean Mangafair.
Pass complete to number 14, Sean Mangafer.
And Mangafer is going to pick up about a yard on that play.
Well, you have a quarterback coming off a borderline concussion last week, right? So let's not have him think a little bit too much. Let's just get the screen out early, get the passing game flowing early so he gets back into a flow of things, especially after the passing game was not very fluid last week. One way to get it started is through short passing and intermediate passing.
Goodman in the shotgun. He receives the snap. It's going to be a handoff off the middle to Steve Meadow for about a pickup.
By number 2, Steve Meadow. Brought down by number 9, Ezekiel.
As Ezekiel Esteves makes the stop there for Mesa High. It's going to be a pickup of about 4. It's going to set up 3rd and 6 for the Toros. Big third down. Goodman's going to be in a shotgun. He's going to wave the running back to the side of him. He's going to roll out. He's looking, pressure in his face, and he's going to get sacked. As Mesa High does a good job of converging on Goodman there. The play was kind of blown up from the start. And for Mesa High, that's going to be a loss of about 9, and that's going to end this drive very promptly, Matthew.
Well, it's an immediate collapse after from the left and right tackles. Both were beat, leading to kind of a Goodman getting kind of sandwiched there in the backfield, nowhere to go, nobody open deep, good man-to-man coverage there by Mountain View. So good start for Mesa. Get that momentum right back. You went 3 and out, they go 3 and out. Now's a chance, still on equal footing, especially after that bad penalty on the punt as well, to come back and fight from that. So really special start for Mesa defensively.
Absolutely, as the Toros are going to punt here, opportunity for them to flip the field, and this is an interesting start for this game. Both teams go 3 and out to start this game, and if you're Mountain View, I don't think this is kind of the way you wanted to start. You kind of starting off similarly as you did last week, as we have the punt almost blocked. It's gonna be a great punt that's gonna go down right at the 1-yard line. So if you're Mountain View, that's exactly what you wanted to do there. You wanted to flip the field. What a punt by number 15 for the Toros. John Garrard on the punt. He did a really good job of flipping the field there for Mountain View.
Yeah, great job from Mountain View as well. Great job from them to really get down to the 1-yard line. And if you saw, they caught it, and he was falling in the end zone. He flipped it over to his other guy and made sure they're down at the 1. So Mountain View was behind the sticks on their first drive, Mesa was behind the sticks on their first drive, and now they're starting from the 1-yard line. So it's going to be a long way to go.
Absolutely. If you're Mesa, special teams wins games. So to start off this way of pinning a Mesa offense that's going to have to drive and get points and use the whole field, that is a great start. As the Jackrabbits look like they're going to be in an interesting formation here. Looks like 2 fullbacks. They're going to hand this ball up the middle for literally no gain. The running back for Mesa is knocked back immediately as Rio Arnett is knocked back, and Preston Patterson does a good job of knocking back the Jackrabbit running back in Arnett, and we have a 2nd and 9.
This is so difficult for Mesa, right? They're at the 1. I mean, you're not going to run, play action. You're not going to really see them drop back because they're already not very comfortable passing the ball that much anyway. Especially from this situation, it's just going to be. This looks like a tush push almost.
As Arnett is going to take the ball up the middle, and this is kind of cosmetic. They're just trying to create some space here. If you're Mesa, as Rio Arnett's going to take it up for about 3 yards. It's going to set up 3rd and 6. And Matthew, I think Mesa might try to pick this up, but I think you suspect, not suspect, they'll be a little conservative here.
They'll be conservative. They should throw here. I mean, especially if it's a quick pass, get the intermediate, or not the intermediate, but the quick game going. You have room now. You picked up about 5 yards. You picked up 4 yards on that rush, so you have room.
You have a bunch set to the left of the quarterback in Derek Carr. He's going to fling the ball to the sideline for a short throw. Immediate stop out of bounds to number 4, Darius Howard. And that's going to set up 4th and 2. So going to force another punt here if you're Mesa High. And this is how you wanted to start defensively, Matthew, if you're the Toros.
Not a first down given up through 2 possessions. Sounds pretty good to them, right? Yeah. So Mesa tried to go with the quick passing game. That's what it would look like. I mean, could really when you're that far pushed back, you don't want to draw out anything. You don't want to risk a turnover. It's something that's safe besides a run that you really trust in, something that you practice a lot. So good play call, just a little 2 yards short.
Mesa's going to punt this ball to try to do the same thing they did as Mountain View did in flipping the field, but they're unsuccessful as that is a negative punt as Galaviz comes up, fair catches it, and again, Mountain View is going to start off with really good field position at about the 40-yard line, and Matthew, another chance for Brady Goodman and company to set up shop and see if they can get some points.
Well, if Mesa wants to counter Mountain View with good defense, right, they can't let Mountain View have these field positions. I mean, they started about around the same area last possession, Mountain View did, so Mesa's got to get better in the special teams department, but it's also where their offense hasn't been able to get anything going so far. But this has been the story so far. It's defense. Let's see what Mesa's defense can come up with here.
Goodman looks like he's going to operate out of shotgun with Steve Metal as the single back. 4 wide receivers, low snap. He's going to fling that one out to Zach Galaviz, and he's going to be met immediately by a convoy of Jackrabbit defenders. And that might have been no game or a loss as Goodman tries to hit the quick game to the outside to one of his playmakers for no gain, Matthew.
You see the game plan early on early downs for Mountain View, right? It's screen passes. They did it last time. They did it this time. Mesa has been nothing but ready for it. Gang tackles, right? They've been getting around and getting right to these receivers. They've had no room. So it's a great job in pursuit from Mesa, taking the right pursuit angles to make sure Mountain View gets nothing of these and gets no momentum going.
2nd and 11. With about 6 minutes to go for the Toro offense as Goodman's going to take the snap. There's another quick pass, and it is going to be incomplete as Goodman was hit there. And thus far, that Jackrabbit defensive line doing a good job of making life a little bit uncomfortable for Goodman, Matthew.
Left tackle protection blew up again right in his face. He's looking towards the left, out towards the 35, and he has a guy, right in his grill, right? So it's hard to get your hand over the top of a helmet and make an accurate throw. That's why it goes over the top, because he releases it a little heavy and a little up top. So good defense so far. Good pass rush from Mesa.
Absolutely. This is going to set up a 3rd and long for the Toros offense. 3rd and 11 with about 5:58 to go. Goodman is going to roll out again. It's going to be a screen pass that is going to be complete to Steve Meadow. He's going to go up the sideline. One defender to beat it. He scores. Touchdown, Mountain View Toros. Steve Meadow up the sideline on a reverse screen pass from Brady Goodman right there. It looked like that play, Matthew, was almost blown up, but Goodman does a good job of using an arm angle, getting to his running back and Steve Meadow, and the Toros strike first at home for their first touchdown of the year.
I know you guys can't see us, but I was up here when he was dropping back across field for that ball, and I was saying, no, 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 what is going on? Good thing for him, his running back was wide open. That's a great play and great downfield blocking. That's what made everything happen there. Mesa was a little off. They were a little off in their situations and their progressions and who they were assigned, their assignments more so. But great job downfield blocking for Mountain View, and that's what got the touchdown and a little broken tackle right before he got in the end zone. So good job from Mountain View.
Absolutely. Steve Meadow did a good job after the catch there. You know, there was no defender in sight. We were told from the coaching staff earlier, and fans as well. Shout out to the Toro faithful. They said when this guy gets in the open field, he is quick. He is fast. As on that extra point, it was encroachment. So it is 6-0, and it looks like the Toro offense is going to trot out back out there, Matthew, to try to get 2 points. Why not, right? Tack on a couple extra points if you can. Because of that penalty, you're right on the 1 yard line.
Well, the first penalty on the punt didn't hurt them. This one very well could. Let's see.
Meadows going to put 2 more points on the board there as Steve Meadow gets in the end zone twice here to put the Toros up 8-0 in the first quarter with about 5 minutes and 47 to go as the Toro offense for the first time all year and the first time at home put some points on the board. And that's exactly what we suspected them to do, Matthew, was to score early and often. This is an offense that was potent last year, and they showed on that drive. It took a minute to get their playmakers going, but Goodman did a good job there getting the ball out on a difficult throw, and 8-0 Toros.
Penalties, right? It's 2 big ones so far on Mesa. One of them hurt him, one of them didn't. So without that penalty, Mountain View wasn't even a thought in their head that they were gonna go for 2 there. So
Yep.
That's a big issue for Mesa thus far, and it's something that was really not even drawn by Mountain View. I mean, Mesa just kind of went off a little bit in terms of their encroachment penalty. So tidy it up. They're a strong coaching staff over there. They'll get their kids going again.
Absolutely, and if you're Mesa, that is unfortunate because up until that play, Matthew, they were playing really good defense. The defensive line was collapsing the pocket on pass rushing downs and on run downs. They were doing a good job of encapsulating the backfield. So not the way they wanted to end that drive, but a good opportunity for the Jackrabbits to come back here and answer. As the Toros are going to kick this one off. This one is going to go back through the end zone again, and the Jackrabbits are going to set up shop
For a touchback.
for a touchback.
Start their drive on the 20-yard line.
Well, for Mesa here, right? 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs. So need to find a way to get rhythm. I mean, it's been a bit of a rough stretch thus far for their offense. So get back to what you know, and that's the run game. And let's get some runs out to the outside, right? Let's
Absolutely.
get something going.
Derek Carr, Rio Arnett is going to trot back out here looking to answer. Looks like they're going to come back in a 3 wide receiver set with Arnett in the backfield. Carr's going to take the snap, hand it off to Arnett up the middle, and he's going to drag a few Toro defenders for about 6 or 7 yards. So, again, nothing special, nothing surprising. They go back to the Rio Arnett up the gut for a pickup of about 7.
And the good thing about if you can get the run game going here as well is that, I mean, Mountain View's humming now, right? Their offense is humming after a good or a good second possession. So you have a chance if you're Mesa to keep the ball out of their hands and methodically just kind of get down the field and take the momentum out from them.
Carr's going to receive the handoff, and you guessed it, hand it back off to Rio Arnett up the middle, and it looks like he's going to get the first down and a little bit extra after that. So, Matthew, again, Rio Arnett takes the ball up the gut, and it is clear Mesa likes their size up front to run that ball up the middle.
Yep, slow down the game, especially when things are coming a little fast, right? Mountain View's stormed out with an 8-point lead here in the first quarter. Mesa, it looks like the game has not slowed down for them yet. So you can slow it down by running the ball effectively.
Carr's going to take the snap, hand it up to Rio. Rio Arnett's going to cut up the right side of the offensive line, and he's going to get about 3 to 4 yards again. So this is going to set up a 3rd and short opportunity for Mesa, as it's going to be about 3rd down and 2 with about 4:30 to go here. So, Matthew, what do you think is going to be drawn up here for the Mesa offense?
I think they actually got a first down a few plays ago, so it's actually going to be 2nd and 6 here.
Okay, so it's going to be 2nd and 6. Thank
Mesa.
you.
They picked up their first down. I know we hadn't seen one yet, but let's see if they get play action going.
So on that play, it's aired out, and it's going to be incomplete from Derek Carr. So I believe, Matthew, that was their first pass. Interesting choice there. That's going to bring down 3rd and medium at about 3rd and 6 with about 4:11 to go.
Yeah, they haven't thrown the ball downfield a lot so far, right? And they're trying to thread the seam there into double coverage. So that's really not going to work that well, especially in Mountain View has good cover corners and 2 guys right in the face of Carr. So tough play to make. 3rd and 6, I mean, quick pass, roll out, or they're going to run the ball again.
Carr receives a snap. He's surveying the field for a pass. He's going to lob it up to number 4, and that is going to be a pass interference as it was intended for Darius Howard. Carr to Howard, and that's going to keep the drive going there for Mesa High.
Yeah, I said they were going to do a short pass or run. They throw it deep, right? That's how football works. But, yeah, that came out of nowhere, and that was smothering defenses too much. And pass interference all the way. So good play call from Mesa. I mean, you don't have to make a catch and move the sticks through penalties, and they keep this drive going. That's what's important.
Absolutely. I think for Mesa, it was imperative for them to keep this drive going after the Toros offense scored and put 2 more points on the board after scoring the touchdown. So got a little break there from that pass interference, and the Jackrabbits are going to keep this going. Carr's going to take the snap here. It's going to be a pass. He evades a rusher. He's going to throw the ball, and it is almost intercepted for the Toros. Number 21, I believe. Myron Christensen was on the play there, Matthew. He does a good job coming in there and breaking that pass that looked to be a little bit behind him.
Goes right through his hands, but Carr had the receiver open, right? He was there. I mean, they had him. He rolled out of the pocket. Great job avoiding the pressure, by the way. The pocket started to collapse a little bit, and it was a great job avoiding the pressure. He stepped up. The throw was a little behind him. So that was a chance for a big yardage for Mesa.
2nd and 10 as Carr's going to take the snap, and immediately is met with pressure. It's going to be a screen pass, and it's going to pick up a few yards. Initially, a few Toro defenders were around the ball. It looks like it was going to be a potential no gain or stop a loss, but the receiver for Mesa does a good job of turning that off field and getting about 4 yards to set up a 3rd and 6, Matthew.
Well, that's how you avoid pass rush, right?
Mm-hmm.
Throw a screen. Good call by the offense there. They're seeing that this Mountain View defensive line is getting pressure. So get this quick game working.
Carr looks like he's going to operate out of shotgun on this 3rd down and 6. He's going to take it. Quick throw, and it's going to be dropped. Looks like he had his intended receiver. And he just dropped it, Matthew.
Well, these are opportunities that Mesa should be completing, right? And the throw was a little low and behind him. It wasn't the greatest throw. It's not the greatest arm in the world, but still, it's a catchable ball for the receiver, right? Even though it could be a little more accurate. So the Mesa passing game, even though they haven't completed anything deep, they're getting guys open. It's there for them. They have opportunities, and they'll really be in this game if they can complete some of these passes.
Agreed. As the offense for Mesa's going to stall out at midfield. They're going to punt to try to flip this field again and pin the Toros back. But again, not the greatest punt, as the returner for Mountain View is going to fair catch it at about the 15-yard line, Zach Galaviz, and the Toros are going to shut up shop at about the 17, 18-yard line, Matthew. And after that stop, the Toros have another opportunity to go down and put some more points on the board.
Well, if you're looking for a benefit here for Mesa, right? If you remember where they started their last two drives at the Mesa 40. So now they're at their own 18. That's a big gain in terms of field position for Mesa. It's a good chance for them to get off the field and get good field position for their offense. For Mountain View, they scored on, I mean, it's not a trick play, but it was kind of a crazy screen pass last time. So I want to see if they can just get their normal offensive rhythm.
Looks like Goodman is going to operate under center for the Toros. He's going to hand the ball off to Meadow. Meadow is going to be met immediately by a Jackrabbit defender, and he's going to be knocked down for a carry of about 2 or 3. Or really no gain, actually. So, it was okay, I was right. It was a gain of 5. So Steve Meadow, it's been Steve Meadow early and often when they aren't throwing the ball, Matthew.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Mesa's trying to run the ball, right? And they've had success. Mountain View trying to get back and get their own success in the running game. And it's been good so far when they've gone with it.
Goodman is going to fling this ball out early to Talon Arnett. Arnett is going to turn the ball upfield. He's going to break a tackle, cut back in at about the 50-yard line. And Mesa was struggling to get Talon Arnett, the star receiver for Mountain View, out of bounds, as that is a huge chunk play for the Toro offense.
That's a grown man breaking a lot of tackles. I mean, he's stiff-arming. He's staying in bounds. He's got 4 guys trying to bring him down. That's special there from Arnett. So great job. And once again, it's a screen pass, right? The screen pass is what catches Mesa out when they're expecting them to maybe go deep. So Mountain View play calling superb here so far on this drive.
Absolutely. They're utilizing that quick game. Goodman's going to operate out of the shotgun here. He's going to bring Meadow in. He's going to roll out again. He's going to look for his man, and he's hit him. What a dot for a huge chunk play for the Toro offense. It's going to be Goodman to Talon Arnett again, and Matthew, Goodman to Arnett starting to percolate here early.
And earlier in the game, I said that screen passes that go for a lot of yards tend to get your quarterback in rhythm, right? So you can see it. Screen pass for a touchdown last drive. Screen pass that goes for a lot of yardage here. Now Goodman's in rhythm. He just made a great pass on the throw run to his left, which is not the strong side, of course, right on the money. So that's exactly what
they're
you
going to go fast here, fling it back to their star and Arnett. He's going to make another man miss. He's going to get down to about the 10-yard line. So Matthew, the Talon Arnett show is starting to show here in Mesa and Toro Stadium as they fling it here to him again. And looks like they're really just trying to go quick and get in his arms.
They can't bring this brother down, right? I mean, he is stiff-arming these guys to the ground. I mean, Arnett looking so special here early. You see why he's one of their big-name players. And already well into the red zone here. Mountain View trying to go 2 possessions.
Goodman's going to operate out of center. He's going to hand the ball up the middle to Steve Meadow. Meadow's going to fumble the football, but did Mountain View fall back on that football? No. It's a flag on the play, by the way. It looks like Mesa saying they have the ball, and it looks like the official is going to signal touchback. What a mistake by Steve Meadow, as it looks like he was going to have an easy touchdown, and he fumbles the ball in the end zone, Matthew.
The flag's important here. What can this be?
Very important.
I mean, there was a scrum, but I think, you know what? A Mesa player, I think it was 43, ran into the play without his helmet.
Okay,
so this could be on Mesa.
So if you're Mesa, this would be detrimental.
It could be after the recovery. If it's after the recovery, they would keep the ball.
Absolutely. So on that play, folks, if you saw, they handed the ball up to Steve Meadow up the middle. The hole was there. It looks like he was going to cruise in the end zone, and the ball just pops out. I don't know if a Mesa defender got his hand in there, but for Mountain View, what a catastrophic play there. That was going to be able to put them up 2 scores, and instead, looks like Mesa might be starting up shop offensively. But we're waiting on the call here.
Yeah, they're going to keep possession. Oh, actually.
We don't have a clear call. Yes, folks, there was okay. We weren't able to.
So I would assume that was what it was. It was a player running into the play without his helmet.
Okay, so that's going to negate the turnover and a huge break for the Toros offenses. They will look to cap off this drive the way it looked like they were about to before Meadow fumbled the ball, as they have a new running back in the game. Goodman's going to hand it off to that running back, and he is going to be met immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Well, good job from Mesa, right? That's the first run in a long time that they've really stuffed. So good for them to get their get back there. You got to be really upset a little bit if you're Mountain View, but once again, Mesa, again, a huge penalty for Mesa. It gives Mountain View a break.
Goodman's going to play action. He's looking. He's finding Arnett. He was intending for him. Looks like it just went through his hands there. And it's going to set up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, so if Mesa can get out of this, it's special for them. But back to what I was saying, these penalties for Mesa, right? You can't have this happen. You have a fumble recovery against a very good Mountain View team who's lethal offensively, about to get into the end zone, and you give it back to them with a personal foul. So Mason needs to stand tall here and try to force a field goal. Big 3rd down.
Big 3rd down here as Goodman's going to operate under center. He's going to hand the ball off, and it is not going to get to where they need to go to keep this drive going. And as you said, Matthew, big opportunity for Mesa to get a stop here, and it looks like they're going to do that.
I'm a little surprised by the call, right? I mean, it's a run up. It looks like they're going to go for it without a gain. Just a run up the middle on 3rd and 5 is a bit surprising, but
looks like
they're being aggressive.
The Toros are going to be aggressive. Goodman's going to operate to go for it on 4th and 5 with about a minute to go here. He's going to look at his coach to get the call. You have Talon Arnett in the slot, folks. I was saying Talon. His name is Talon Arnett, so excuse me. Goodman's going to operate out of the shotgun here at 4th and 5, and it is another flag. False start on the Toro offense, so this is probably going to negate them going for it, Matthew.
If you're Mesa, I almost would want them to go for it because you feel like you have a good opportunity to
Absolutely.
stop them. But we'll see. 4th and 10 if they can kick a field goal. Yeah. So they're coming off the field now.
Remains 4th down.
Yes. So that 5-yard penalty is going to take the Mountain View Toro offense off the field, and they're going to attempt to put 3 on the board to make this an 11-point game. I think this is the right decision, Matthew. 4th and 5 is one thing, but 4th and 10, when you have an opportunity to tack on points on a lead, is definitely another.
Let's see how this field goal kicking goes. Arnett holding, by the way, for the kicker, so I guess he just does everything out there for Mountain View. But let's see how they can do here.
It's John Garrard to kick this for Mountain View. Nice snap by Arnett. The kick is up, and it is good. So John Garrard is going to knock that one through and add 3 points with about 51.7 seconds to go. Your Mountain View Toros are up 11-0 over crosstown rival Mesa High Jackrabbits. And, you know, Goodman to Arnett, Matthew, was prominent on that drive. But for Mesa, you got to take that because Steve Meadow looks like he was going to cruise in to put 6 more points on the board. And instead, despite shooting themselves in the foot with those penalties, only 3 points.
Yeah, only 3 points, right, for Mesa. They could have gone off the field. I mean, but good job from Mountain View getting the kicking game going. You never know how it is with high school kicking. You know what I mean? Some guys really struggle with it. Some guys really step through it and look really good, and that was great there from Mountain View. So 2-possession lead, 51.7 seconds left in the first quarter. Feeling good.
And number 22, Marco.
But Mesa also feels like they're in this game, so that's what's important for them.
Absolutely. I think they should. You know, they're a few mistakes away and a couple drives not stalling out from either leading or at least being down 1 possession. But as I stated, it's going to be 11-0 with about 51 seconds to go with this kickoff pending.
Everybody up.
And it looks like Garrard is going to put this one through the back of the end zone again for a touchback. And the Jackrabbits are going to set up shop familiarly on the 20-yard line, Matthew.
Yeah, not terrible field position, right? For Mesa though, they just really got to get this offense going. I mean, if they don't get it going here soon, I mean they're in this game, but if they don't get it going here soon, Mountain View could run away with it, and that's not what you want. So, and this is an offense last week against Shadow Ridge that put up over 35 points, so they're capable of it. And last drive they had receivers open, they just couldn't complete the passes, so they're capable of it. We'll see what they can do here.
Looks like Rio Arnett, the running back who's gotten a lot of carries, is going to operate as the running back as Derek Carr is going to motion the tight end in the formation. He's going to receive the snap. He's going to hand it up the middle to Arnett again. And again, the Toro defensive line collapses and makes sure that it's a minimal game of about 2. So 2nd and 8 for the Mesa offense.
Mountain View's defensive tackles have been great today. I mean, they've been getting internal pressure and then getting internal pressure on the runs. And they've been really making sure that Mesa gets nothing going in something that they love, which is the run game. So it's been good for them so far.
So we have a quarterback change for the Jackrabbits as Hudson Benson is in game. He's going to throw that ball out there for a screen pass, and it is going to probably be a loss there as it's going to be 3rd down at about 9 or 10 as we're going to wind down to the end of this first quarter. And before we do, what are you thinking on this 3rd and long, Matthew, when we come back from Mesa?
Well, new quarterback in the game. It definitely had to do with those missed throws last possession, but they got to go deep, right? They can't just throw a screen pass. It's not working at the moment.
So at the end of this quarter, we're going to send this to commercial.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. Hey fans, Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Whether you're running a business, protecting your home, or planning for the future, Hub International is your trusted independent insurance broker. They team up with top carriers like auto owners to deliver tailored coverage that fits your unique needs. From commercial and personal insurance to employee benefits and wealth management, Hub's got you covered. Visit.
And we're back, folks, as looks like we're going to be back with another pre-snap penalty. Oh, actually, it's going to be a timeout by Mesa. So coming out of the quarter, it looks like Mesa's going to call a timeout. So, Matthew, they're definitely going to want to think hard on this 3rd down and long.
It's not something I've never really seen a timeout be called right out of the end of a quarter like that. But you got to put a lot of thought. This is a big play in this game. I know it's the 2nd quarter, but they're really far back in terms of field position, and if they punt this back to Mesa or to Mountain View immediately, this can get a lot worse. So might as well.
I think you're correct in that assessment. I think they really want to be very thoughtful about the process of how they want to approach this play, because this is one of those plays that can flip this game entirely. So
the fireworks for tonight's game are brought to us by.
So again, to set it up, we're starting off the 2nd quarter, 3rd and 10 for the Mesa offense and company at about their own 18-yard line. So a pivotal 3rd down. Looks like they're going to operate with a 3 wide receiver set in this formation with a running back to the right or to the left of the quarterback. He's going to receive the snap. Looks like he's going to roll that way to the receivers. And he is going to skip this ball across the middle. It doesn't look like anybody was really open there, Matthew.
12 was who he was targeting, but it was at his feet. I mean, he really wasn't open. They had nothing. They're trying this bootleg over and over again, and it's been successful when they've gotten accurate throws, which we haven't gotten so far. But huge incompletion in this game, right, for Mesa. Now you're giving Mountain View the ball back, who's looking good offensively, and they're going to have good field position here. So we'll see where this goes, but Mesa's defense needs to stand tall.
And Zach Galaviz, who hasn't had to do too much there back here today, is on the return as it is almost blocked in this. So wobbler punt is going to be a fair catch by Galaviz. He's going to drop the ball there on the fair catch. He's going to pick it up, and the Toros are going to start at about their own 46-yard line. So like you mentioned, Matthew, the Toro offense and Goodman and Arnett and Meadow are going to start off again with pretty good field position.
They're at the 45 right on their own side, so it's still a chance for them to go down there and score pretty easy, or not easily, of course, but it's easier than if they were pinned back. So Mesa's defense needs to step up. Mountain View just continue what they're doing. I mean, the screen passes last drive 8 for them, so that's going to be important for them. But the rollout play action pass also worked for them, so there's a lot that they can have their mind on to go to here, so to get this crowd back juiced up and jumping again.
Goodman's going to operate out of the shotgun. Familiar formation with Meadow to the side of him. Another quick pass to Arnett, which has proved to be dangerous all day, but this time the Jackrabbit defense swarms to Arnett and is going to stop him. Looks like a Jackrabbit ended up with the ball after that play, but Talon Arnett, another little screen pass out there for about no gain. So again, Matthew, another little screen pass to Arnett.
Why not try it, right? I mean, it worked so well last possession. And there's nothing. You have trust in your offense that if it doesn't go anywhere, you can still get a lot in these next two plays. Excuse me.
Goodman is operating with no running backs in this formation. He's going to throw this pass across the middle to Zachary Galaviz. So a good little slant pass to Galaviz over the middle there, Matthew, from Goodman.
Pass complete number 1, Zach Galaviz.
Yep, the play action pass works. Or more so not play action pass, it was more so an RPO, right? And the RPO catches the defense on their heels. You have 3 opportunities. Quarterback can throw it, he can run it, you can hand it to the running back, and he made the right decision.
The Toro offense is going to come up here with a little pace here as they're going to basically run to the exact same play to Galaviz, who has one defender to beat, and he does not, but not before he gets down to the 20-yard line. So Matthew, a big explosive play, which looked like it was the same exact play again to the same exact player.
Yep. What's worked? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wide open on the slant. Beat his guy. Got past him pretty quick. And very special there from Mountain View in terms of their ability to get through
Looks
the
like it's going to be a
secondary.
keeper from Goodman, and he's going to take this in as the Toros score another touchdown, this time by way of Brady Goodman's legs there. So the Toros were operating this drive, Matthew, with pace, and they do a good job of meeting the moment here and punching it in with their star quarterback with his legs.
First time he scrambled here tonight, and immediately it's affecting. And they've done an absolutely great job there from Mountain View in terms of setting up the run game through their RPO offense, and it's catching Mesa a little bit. They don't know what to expect right now, and that big 3rd and 10 that Mesa was able to convert on leads to a touchdown for Mountain View.
Absolutely. So pending this extra point, the Toros lead this one 18-0 with about 10:37 to go in the second quarter. So 18-point lead for the Toros, and this is what we expected, Matthew. You know, last week this offense went down there to Liberty, the #1 team in the state of Arizona, put up a donut, didn't have anything going on offensively to sustain themselves, but today Goodman, Arnett, Meadow doing a good job. They're triplets offensively of meeting the moment and putting points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a great job. I mean, in terms of diversifying their offensive scheme. I mean, it's been the run game, it's been the RPO, it's been the passing game deep, it's been the passing game rolling out, it's been the running game from the quarterback, it's been the screen games. You just don't know what's coming, right? From Mesa, they've been a little one-dimensional in terms of they've only really been able to run the ball as a huge hue of smoke just comes over the field from the fireworks that are going off here. But Mountain View already up 18. It's already a big hole for Mesa to come back from, but they can do it early second quarter.
Like you said, this is not insurmountable, but not the start Mesa wanted to start off with, and I think you would agree, Matthew. They shot themselves in the foot. A couple opportunities to get themselves in this game and even the playing field, and unfortunately haven't been able to do that as the Toros are going to kick this one back off, as Gerard has done a good job all day of putting this ball through the back end of the end zone and not allowing the Jackrabbits to set themselves with favorable field position.
For Mesa, let's get the passing game going. New quarterback, new feel, hopefully new production. They've been struggling a bit offensively in terms of connecting on passes that should be a little more routine. I know it's high school, but it's something that they should be able to complete, and hopefully they can get it going here so we get a bit of a game. But Mountain View's defensive line has been stout so far, so it's been really hard to run the ball, and that's what Mesa wants to do.
As Hudson Minton is going to be in the game, again, he's going to receive this snap and hand this ball off to Real Arnett up the middle. And that's really all they've kind of done is, the coach told us, he was very candid and honest with us, Matthew. This is going to be the Real Arnett show where they were going to hand this ball off and try to set the tone. And unfortunately, not much there and really all day.
Yeah, defensive tackles for Mountain View have just been bulldozing through the middle. And it's what Mesa wants to do, but at some point they have to try to come up with something. It's intermediate, slow it down for the quarterback like this.
Minton is going to operate out of shotgun with 4 wide receivers. He's going to roll out here and almost throw an interception to number 4, Cash Skousen. Skousen, excuse me. Cash Skousen was in on that pass breakup, almost an interception. And for Minton, Matthew, that was a dangerous throw.
If you remember Cash Skousen earlier on Mesa's first throw in the first quarter, he almost forced an interception. There he almost has an interception himself. So he's all over these guys. I mean, this is great coverage. And it wasn't even that bad of a throw, and it was the right throw to make. He could have scrambled, got a few yards, but at some point you have to take a shot downfield to try to get some big yardage.
Minton is going to take this ball out of shotgun. He's going to sling this across the field to number 82, Jaden Campos, but it's going to be a short gain there, and it's going to set up another 4th down for Mesa, Matthew.
Yep, punt coming up here for Mesa. Mesa still with only 1 first down in this game. I mean, there are 2 if you include the penalty, but at least the passing game got a completion there, right? It's something that I think they should have gone to a little earlier in the drive instead of running the ball. Maybe try your own play action game because Mountain View's so predicated on thinking you're going to run the ball, try to get some fakes going. But another good defensive possession.
And as it is blocked, that punt was blocked, and it's going to be picked up by a Toro defender. Number 13 takes it in. Number 13, Parker Foster, is going to receive that blocked punt and put it in the end zone. So for the Toro special teams, Matthew, again, proves to be the difference maker as they put another 6 points on the board for the Toros, and it's going to make it 24-0 with about 9 minutes to go. The Toro special teams reign supreme again, Matthew.
Well, now all they got to do is score on defense. But yeah, I mean, when it rains, it pours, right? From Mesa, they can't get anything going, and then the punt. They've become so close to blocking these punts so far, and they finally got it for Mountain View. That ball was caught midair and ran straight into the end zone. What a great play from the special teams of Mountain View. And special team success gets your coaching staff and your team going like crazy. So that's something so special for Mountain View that they've been probably working so hard in practice for. And it gets a little worse for Mesa.
Yeah, man. What a play special teams is. The special teams defender there for the Toros does a good job getting there, blocking that punt. And then Jaden Campos, the big boy, number 13, the big guy, runs it in for the Toros. And after that ensuing extra point, that is going to make it 25-0 Mountain View with about 9 minutes and 14 seconds to go, Matthew. And this game is getting high scoring very quick, but one-sided, Matthew.
Yeah, well, good thing for Mesa, right, is they completed a pass on their last drive. I don't want to sound like, you're patting them on the head, but they completed a pass on their last drive that on 3rd down that got 5 yards, and it was a good fluid 2-step, 3-step drop and got out to the receiver on a curl. So they immediately get the ball back so they can build off it. But yeah, 25-0. I mean, it's 4-possession game already.
Shout out Preston Patterson for the Toros on that block. And shout out Parker Foster, number 13, for the Toros for taking that in and tacking another 6 points on the board for the Toros, who are going to kick this one back off to the Mesa High Jackrabbits offense, who are now looking to, looks like they were going onside kick there, Matthew, but there's a flag on the play, and I'm guessing this maybe didn't go far enough.
It was called before anybody touched it, so it's probably incorrect formation. We'll see which team it's on because this is pretty important. Find a different shot.
Disregard the flag.
Okay, so PA announcer said disregard the flag. Seems like the Zebras met up and decided there was no penalty on this, Matthew. So looks like we are going to kick this one off again.
Yeah, never happened.
Redo.
I would really doubt they onside it 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
You
impressive.
never know, though. This is high school football, and the Toros do have a 25-point lead at home against their crosstown rivals, so they could try this again, but you might be correct. I think they're just going to kick this one off with this 25-point lead and make the Mesa offense prove to score, which they haven't done all day.
I mean, Mesa's still not in a onside kick formation to recover, so they're expecting them to kick it deep here.
Everybody up for kickoff.
As this one is going to be touchback again, so another touchback.
Jackrabbits will start their drive.
As the Jackrabbits will start their drive from the 20-yard line. So familiar shop for the Jackrabbits to set up their offense at the 20-yard line. So not easy. This is an offense, Matthew, that has to go down and put some points on the board.
They got to do it now, right? I mean, you're down 25-0. You can't let this get worse. There's still so much time left in this game. I mean, you got, I mean, a lot of time, almost 40 minutes left in this game, right? 39 minutes to really just make your way into this game. You're down 25. Inroads, they can't come on one play. Just chip away and build off a passing game, which is look to get a little better on the last possession.
With about 9 minutes to go, the Jackrabbits offense needs it in a hurry. Mitten is going to take this ball and roll out of the shotgun formation, looking for a receiver, and again, it is through the hands of Cameron Williams, a guy who had a big week last week but hasn't made plays yet for the Jackrabbits offense. He's a guy that's going to have to catch the ball if they want to move this ball down the field, Matthew.
When you watch Mesa, right, you're like, oh, I know how they scored a bunch of points on Shadow Mountain. I mean, these passes are completable, and I don't know what it is so far, but it's been a bit of a struggle, and it's something that has to get corrected right now, to be honest.
Looks like Derek Carr is now back in the game after him and Mitten were taking turns on the drives. That it is a handoff to Real Arnett up the middle, a familiar sight if you're watching at home, and another familiar sight there, Matthew. Not a lot going. You've been highlighting these defensive tackles for the Toros all day, and they do a good job again of pushing this offensive line back.
It's like Mountain View has two versions of Chris Jones, who plays for the Chiefs, up front at defensive tackle, and they're just dominating. I mean, this is nothing. Nothing is getting past them up front, and the offensive linemen are just getting in their way from their main goal, which is getting Mesa to lose yardage.
Another third down and long for the Jackrabbits offense, but it's a strike across the middle to Cam Williams from Derek Carr, and Matthew, that was a nice pitch and catch for the Mesa offense.
I love how Carr stepped up in the pocket, felt the pressure off the two sides, stepped up, delivered a dart across the middle for a first down, and that's what we want to see from Mesa. We want to see them get going with the passing game. Let's see what they can do now.
Looks like after that big time conversion for them, they're going to go a little bit quicker. 4 wide receivers set. Carr is going to take this one and hand it back off to Real Arnett. Real Arnett is going to annoy the initial surge and fall down for about a gain of 5 to 6 there. So that is a nice carry for the Jackrabbits. So that's 2 straight plays. They're moving this ball here, Matthew.
Yeah, you feel good after one play, right? And it's a run game. And now Mountain View has to respect the pass. I mean, they haven't been respecting the pass all day. They've been so predicated on the run.
Carr is going to take this pass. He's going to fling it out to about the 48-yard line, a short pass to his receiver, number 12, Joe Haney. So that's going to be a first down. So that is how you do it as they're moving this ball down this field.
Here we go. They're coming now. Passing game starting to work. A bit of a low throw, but a great catch.
Carr is going to throw this ball again as they're going to operate out of the shotgun, and it is going to be a PI as Cam Williams was coming across the middle of this field to complete his route, and he was hit by a Toros defensive back, and that's going to be a pass interference. So Mesa finally stringing together a few of plays, and now they're getting a little help from the refs here. And again, this was similar to one of their first drives where they were moving this ball, Matthew.
So the refs are huddling here. This pass may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. That's what they may be huddling for. And if that happens, then it would not be pass interference. But yeah, 2 players really came together on a route, so that was a bit awkward looking. But nonetheless, it should be a penalty if the ball was deflected.
Foul.
Number 3,
Personal foul on the Toros.
first down.
15-yard penalty.
So the call was a personal foul
First down for the
on number 3, Brody Anderson for the Toros. So that's going to be 15 yards tacked on to the end of this play. And for the Jackrabbits, this is exactly what you needed. You're down 25-0, no semblance of momentum offensively. They finally opened this passing game up. They put Derek Carr back in the game after yanking him, Matthew, and they're sustaining some success with the quarterback who produced a lot of points last week for them.
He took it personally getting yanked for one drive, right? Or 2 drives.
And looks like we're going to have a timeout from the Toros, so this is going to stop play here. And
Timeout is sponsored by
um,
American Waste.
but go ahead, Matthew. Continue to what you were saying before that timeout was called.
Mountain View's feeling it too now, right? They're calling timeout. They don't like the rhythm that Mesa's getting. They know there's a lot of game left here. They don't want to let them score here so early in the second quarter, so try to get back in this game. But offense is stringing together plays, and that's what's important for Mesa. They're finding a rhythm. They're finding an identity. You can't come into a game not really knowing what's going on. So they're finding an identity in the passing game and the play action game, especially rolling out, and they need to continue on with it because Mountain View has not been able to stop it on this drive.
And with that, we're going to send it down to our field correspondent with a report.
I'm Anissa Reynolds with Varsity Sports here reporting at Mountain View High School where they are playing the Mesa Jackrabbits. The Mountain View Toros are winning right now, currently 25-0, excuse me. And I would say Coach Lynn told his defense and offense to stay energetic, stay hype. And you can see on the sidelines, even in the crowd, they're very loud, rambunctious. The student section is doing push-ups for every score on the field. I'd say this is a very hype environment where the Mountain View Toros are coming out on top. I'm Anissa Reynolds with Varsity Sports.
And we are back. It is 1st and 10 with about 7 minutes to go for the Jackrabbits offense, operating from about their 43-yard line. Derek Carr is going to operate out of shotgun here. He's going to it's a read option to Rio Arnett, and it is going to be dropped by Arnett. He's going to be met in the backfield by a convoy of Toro defenders, but it is a flag on the play, and it looks like they might be calling unnecessary roughness on the Toros. It looked like a clean hit to me, though, Matthew.
Well, it could have been a late hit.
It could have been.
He was already down, and he had guys jumping in there to try to just get a little lick of him. This is, let's see what they do actually here. This is really important because that's a loss of a lot of yards for Mesa when they were starting to get going. It isn't sportsmanlike.
So it is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on the Toros. So that is the second personal foul this drive, Matthew. And if you're the Toros defensive coordinator and the head coach, this is not how you wanted this drive for Mesa to go as they continue to stay on this field and continue, because of self-inflicted wounds, to move this ball.
Yep, would have been a loss of like well over 10 for Mesa, but nonetheless, it's 2nd and 5 now, so they get a breath of fresh air.
2nd and 5 for the Mesa offense with about 6:56 to go. Carr's going to operate out of shotgun. He's going to receive the snap. He's going to fling this ball across the middle of the field, and it was a dime to number 22, Markel Myers, but it goes to the hands of Myers, and that was a missed opportunity, Matthew, for the Jackrabbits.
How many of these have they had today, right? I mean, you've had wide open guys on wide open guys, and they haven't been hit on every throw. I know it's tough, but you need to make these. And now you have 3rd and 4 when you could have had 1st and goal. So, I mean, he could have walked in there. No one was really that close to him. So, huge 3rd down in the game, and I think it's 4-down territory for Mesa.
Absolutely. 3rd and 4, about 6:48 to go out of the 40-yard line. Carr's going to roll to his left. He's going to keep this one, and he's going to be met. Convoy of defenders, and again, a little extracurriculars after the whistle. No flag here.
Quarterback keeper number 13.
Carr kept this one, and he's going to be short of this 1st down by about maybe a yard or two, Matthew.
Good decision, right? Nothing open. I don't know how much he gained exactly, but it's going to be 4th and short. And, oh, wow, it's looking like 4th and 1. Wow, it's a huge play. No doubt 4th down territory for Mesa. This shouldn't even be a down their mind.
Absolutely. Down 25 points. It's 4th and 1 with about 6 minutes to go here. Down 25 points on the road against your crosstown rival. This is a pivotal 4th down for the Jackrabbits offense. So expect them to take their time here, really try to call the best play possible to keep this drive and this chains moving, because the future outlook on this game hinges on this play, Matthew.
I don't want to be that guy, but this is the game.
And a timeout again for Andy Litton. and the Toro offense, as it looks like.
Tell that ball kid to get out of the way.
So Matthew, the Toros wanted a long look here. They know the importance of this fourth down for them to stop their rivals and get the ball back and tack some more points on. So
Yeah. Um, Mountain View knows how important this is. Mesa knows how important this is. This is the game. I mean, they got to score in this possession. 4th and 1. You saw Mesa lining up. Mountain View wanted to see what they were in. Mesa was in a push, everybody, jumbo set, whatever you want to call it, and Mountain View now knows what they're calling. Yeah, so here we go.
So
biggest play of the game.
Biggest play of the game, like you mentioned, Matthew, 4th and 1 at about the Jackrabbit 30-yard line. And again, this is a pivotal play for the Jackrabbits to continue this drive going and try to tack some points on the board. It looks like Hudson Mitten, so no Derek Carr in the game. Looks like they're playing musical chairs with the quarterback, and looks like they're going to potentially hand this ball off to Rio Arnett, and he is going to get that first down. He is not down yet. Yes, okay, now he is down. He falls forward. Good safe call there.
Safe call, and it works right at the middle. They go right at the defensive tackles of Mountain View, who have been dominating all day. But nonetheless, when they need it the most, they got it, and that's what's important. Keep the drive going. 5.5 minutes left. Try to score here.
I think this is really important for Mesa. They're doing a good job of, with the help of some penalties, sustaining this drive. Most importantly, getting time of possession. The Toros offense, when they get that ball, they're scoring quick in a hurry. So for Mesa, this is a good job of kind of keeping the ball control here and trying to mitigate the damage here by letting this clock run out and also trying to score some points. As it looks like there's another timeout. So these coaches are approaching this drive like it is a key drive, like you've mentioned here, Matthew.
Yeah, Mountain View's used 2 timeouts now and almost on back-to-back plays here. So, big drive.
So we're going to go to break.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, folks, we're back here, and this is a situation about 5 minutes and 14 to go here. 1st and 10 for the Jackrabbit offense. And again, Matthew, like we mentioned, pivotal drive for the Jackrabbits to try to string together plays, which they've done. Derek Carr has done a good job when he's been inserted back in the game of slinging this ball around and making things happen.
Yeah, he's had a good possession. He's been finding the rhythm. They've also been finding the rhythm with the run game, so that's been really good for them so far. And let's see what they go. Let's see what they go with here to start this off.
Min is going to keep this one here. Looks like he was going to flick that ball out to Arnett on the option, but it decides to keep it, and that's going to be a short gain there for the offense.
He had the option there. He had the option there. It looked like it was he could have been a toss over the running back, but he decided to keep it. It was smart things. He got hit pretty fast there.
So that's going to set up about 2nd and 8 with about 4 minutes to go here from about the 29-yard line. It's going to be shotgun here for Carr, and it is a penalty, so that play is stopped. It's going to be a false start for the Jackrabbit offense, so not what you want to do here if you're the offense for Mesa, as they're going to be pushed back here, Matthew.
Yeah, false start, something you can't have when you're already behind the sticks in 2nd and 8. So, 2nd and 14. I'm not sure why it's a 6-yard penalty. Or, yeah, 2nd and 14. Okay, so already way back. So they need to get this back up through the passing game immediately, whether it's a screen or something.
Looks like Carr is going to operate out of shotgun with 3 wide receivers next to him. He's going to survey the field. He's going to throw it to the other side to number 12. He's going to do a good job of evading the defenders and cutting that upfield to about the 20-yard line. So nice little chunk play for the Jackrabbit offense. Gerald Heaney does a good job of catching that ball, Matthew, and after the catch, making things happen.
Your most important thing on 2nd and 14 in that situation is just try to get yardage. You're not trying to go for a first down. If you get it, you get it. But you're just trying to get something that's safe and that you can make third and manageable, and that's exactly what they did there.
Exactly. So it's 3rd and 4. Hudson Min in the game. Musical chairs at quarterbacks continue. He's going to keep this, or he's going to hand that to Arnett. I thought he kept it, but it was to Arnett, and that is no gain. And that's going to set up another 4th down as the defensive line does a good job there for the Toros, Matthew.
I once again think it is 4-down territory for Mesa. I mean, they have to get a touchdown this drive. Let's see what they do. Yep, they're keeping. Oh no, they're moving them off the field.
Okay, so I agreed with you there. Thought this was a call to set up 2-down territory for the offense. They look like they're going to stay on the field, but just change quarterbacks.
I mean, they changed about everybody. Like 3 receivers came off the field.
So they changed personnel packages here. So it looks like they might go heavy, and they're going to go up the line here with Hudson Minton under center, 2 fullbacks and a running back in the formation. It is going to be a throw, and it is going to be caught. Oh, and it is dropped. It is dropped by the attended Mesa receiver, Joe Haney. And Joe Haney had a good opportunity to put points on the board, Matthew, and it falls through his hands.
Great play call from Mesa. I absolutely loved it. You knew the run game. They set up in the same formation they did as when they ran it on 4th and 1, but this was 4th and 3, a long 3. They probably weren't going to pick it up running the ball. It's a great play. The ball could have been led a little bit more, right? It was behind him. He had to turn around all the way and try to catch it, but nonetheless, it's a ball that should have been caught, but it's also a great play by the defender. I mean, getting his hand in there and causing it to be dropped and come out of his hand. So great defense and just a sour punch there from Mesa to swallow.
Goodman and the Toro offense is going to operate under center, and that play is going to result in 0 as it looked like it was a play action pass to the receiver down here, Matthew, and the play was kind of doomed from the start there.
Well, immediate pressure, right? Off the edge, a guy came in unblocked, and no matter what happens, it's hard to get an accurate throw in with that. So the throw was at his feet. Great defense there from Mesa.
Goodman and company is going to operate out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers in the formation, running back next to him. It is going to be a handoff to Steve Meadow, and it is going to be immediately stopped around the line of scrimmage. So good job by the Mesa D-line there, Matthew.
Well, the defense is responding to the offense not being able to score there. This has been a great start. 3rd and 9 now. Have to get a stop and get this ball back.
This would be a great opportunity to get this ball back in a hurry after that drive that took a lot of time, that was methodical, that looked like was going to result in a touchdown there. But, 25-0, about 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go. 3rd and 9. Goodman, it looks like he's going to operate out of the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. He's going to take this ball here, and he's going to survey the field. He's going to pump fake. He's going to roll out, evade a few defenders. He's going to throw that ball across his body to number 1, Zachary Galaviz. But unfortunately, that is going to be a no gain play there for the Toros offense, and it's going to be 4th down and 9 with about $1:59 to go. And it looks like Mesa's going to get this ball back with 2 minutes to go.
Well, Mesa just called the timeout to stop the clock. So it was a quick pass. It was a hard decision there for the refs because 4th and 3. He lost his forward progress because he started kind of going backwards there, and that's what caused him to not pick up the first down. But Mesa forced a 3 and out. So right where they were last drive, they're right back in this situation with 1:59, a chance to score right before half. Take some momentum into the locker room if you're them.
Absolutely. So for the Jackrabbits, they do a good job as I feel like you would agree their defense has done a good job of getting off the field. It's just their offense hasn't converted. Been a couple of self-inflicted wounds and penalties. And for the Jackrabbits, I feel like we've been saying this all day, Matthew, but when they get this ball back, 2-minute drill here, it is imperative they put points on the board to feel something to build off of for the second half.
This is important, right? Mace's offense got rhythm last possession. This is something that they need to continue on with and throughout this possession into the second half. But let's not look at the second half. Let's keep it locked in here. Mountain View knows the importance of this as well. We keep hammering this. We sound like a broken record, but this is where games are made, broken and made, and broken and won. So Mesa needs to find a rhythm here and get in the end zone.
And if you're Mountain View here, they're really going to probably do what they've done all day. Their punter and kicker is good at flipping the field, making sure that the opposing team in Mesa hasn't set up shop with good field position. So this is an important punt return if you're the Jackrabbits here. And we have another stoppage of play.
Timeout.
Another timeout by Mountain View. You would think this is the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl, the stoppage of times we've gotten here lately, Matthew.
Yeah, it's an important punt, right? They want to make sure that I remember they punted, they blocked Mesa's punt. They don't want the same thing to happen to them.
Right.
So important to get down your special teams techniques here and make sure that you can deliver.
And again, if you're Mesa, this is a pivotal punt return. And then subsequently a pivotal drive here to hopefully tack some points on and go into halftime feeling like you could build up off something. And if you're Mountain View, Matthew, how should you feel after this first half after putting up a donut last week down in Liberty?
You should feel great. You scored 25 more points than you scored 4 quarters last week, no matter who the opponent is. And it's what their coach wanted. He wanted them to fix quarter by quarter their offensive issues that they dealt with last game, and it's looked really good.
And it is almost blocked as this is a shank of a punt, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Jackrabbits as they're going to finally set up shop in plus territory. And we were just talking about this, Matthew.
Plenty of time for Mesa, right? They minute 53 seconds. They still have timeouts. They can get down the field. They just got to keep the rhythm going that they found last possession. They should be able to. This is going to be a lot of pass game. They don't want to run off too much clock through the run game. I know they've liked it a lot so far, but let's see what they can do. This is huge for them.
Absolutely, and I mentioned they finally set up shop in plus territory. It's about a $1:53 to go. First and 10, second quarter. Looks like we're going to keep Derek Carr in the game at quarterback as Matthew. They've played musical chairs all day at that position.
It's been whatever's worked with their package, right? So they've had the Carr in when they're going to throw. They've had their other quarterback in when they've really decided to go with the QB run. So
Carr is going to take this one, and it looks like a little bit of a Statue of Liberty play here, and it is going to be a handoff to Arnett up the middle. So interesting design, interesting fun play call, but it results in no gain there. As this clock is going to continue to roll, and you got to expect Mesa to go fast.
Surprising play. I thought they were going to come out throwing the ball, try to get that rhythm back that they've been so good with.
Carr's going to roll this out here and find a receiver, and he just missed him. He had him on the sideline onto his left. The play call and design was right there, Matthew, but again, the ball just a little bit short and not on time.
Halfway there for Mesa, and the other half needs to be completing some of these. I mean, they've had chances on chances on chances here for the receivers. These guys have been open. They've dropped passes. Quarterbacks are throwing passes. This game would be a lot closer right now if they would have completed some of those things, but nonetheless, big 3rd down and 10 here. And they really do not want to give Mountain View the ball back, I would say.
A lot of 3rd and longs here for the Mesa offense today that hasn't resulted in a lot of opportunities to success, but 3rd and 10 with about a minute and 23 to go. Pivotal 3rd down. His Carr is going to take this snap, and he's going to be met in the backfield immediately with pressure, and it is a sack for the Toros defense. It is going to be number 24. Cannon Rabin. So Cannon Rabin does a good job of coming in off the edge and made life extremely difficult for Carr. He had no chance of evading this rusher there.
His hands were so fast coming off that left tackle. He, boom, boom. I mean, it was just like something you see at the professional level. That was really, really cool to see from the defensive end. And 2 Mesa offensive linemen ran into each other trying to block him. So that just shows you how good of a play that was from him. Thing here for Mountain View is they have no timeouts. They used them all in the last Mesa offensive drive. So this clock's going to really, really wind down here.
Absolutely. So that is going to set up 4th and 15 as this clock is going to wind down to halftime with about 31 seconds to go. And the story has remained true here, Matthew. Missed opportunities after missed opportunities. Granted, from a team that, as there is a flag on the play, looks like it's going to be delay of game on the Jackrabbits. You know, not too much harm. Sets up more room, I guess, for a punt here. But, you know, penalties have proven to just be very, very costly for the Jackrabbits.
Exactly what I was going to say. I mean, it sets up more room for their punter, so might as well. It's not something that's really going to hurt you. They wanted to take it down as much as they could.
As Zach Galaviz again is on return for the Toros, and opportunity to potentially return this one and really muck this game up. It goes over his head. It's going to roll to the back of the end zone, and with about 19 seconds left, the Toros are going to set up their offense at the 20-yard line. And Matthew, how do you think the Toros are going to approach this drive with about 19 seconds to go in a 25-point lead, with about to head into the locker room at half?
Kneel it. 19 seconds, they have no timeouts right there on 20. Kneel it. Or maybe they'll just run it. I mean, they've been able to break off a big run here and then, so maybe they're going to try to pull that off, but they're not going to throw the ball. I mean, that would be absurd. Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to just run it and see if they can break something big off.
As Goodman is going to come to the line here under center. Looks like he's going to single back formation with Steve Meadow in the backfield as he now steps out of under center into a pistol formation. He's going to hand it off, like you mentioned, Matthew, up the gut to Steve Meadow, and that will probably take us to halftime. With about 5 minutes to go, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and we are off to halftime as the Mountain View Toros are up 25-0 against their crosstown rival Mesa High Jackrabbits. And Matthew, 25 points after scoring none all game down in Liberty. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Toros.
Great first half for Mountain View.
And
they've really got the offense humming. They've got the special teams humming. They've got the defense humming. Everything you want.
And we're going to send this down to our field correspondent, Anissa Reynolds, to tell us more.
I'm Anissa Reynolds here with Varsity Sports Show at Mountain View High School, where we are at halftime. The Mountain View Toros are leading 25-0 going into time. The Toros have put on a great show for the first half. They've had a few rushing touchdowns. Quarterback has also ran in a touchdown, and they had a block and a return. The energy has stayed consistent, very high, very up. And I've even heard some of the players on the sidelines tell each other to stay up and keep scoring. So be expected to see them to continue to score and be energetic in the second half. I'm Anissa Reynolds with Varsity Sports.
And with that lovely halftime report from our field correspondent, that is going to send us to halftime as the Toros are going to be up 25-0 at home to their crosstown rival Mesa. Thank you, listeners, for listening, and we hope you come back after half to listen to more.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Marla Mundo, and today I'm with Ruth Brooks, a Sacramento State senior who also rows crew. Ruth, how did you get into rowing?
Well, I started rowing during COVID. Growing up, I used to play basketball and volleyball, but obviously that came to a stop. And so I actually saw a rowing post on TikTok. And so I decided to email our programs in the area, found the coach in the area, and then I've been doing it ever since.
That's great. So what has been your experience rowing collegiately? You row at Sacramento State, a D1 program. What has that been like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rowing has definitely been one of the most challenging but rewarding things I've ever done in my entire life. Definitely waking up in the morning, knowing you're going to do something hard, but being surrounded by 40 other hardworking, strong women has just been great as I've grown into my own in college.
Yeah. So if a younger athlete was interested in rowing, what would you tell them?
I would say just try it out. Email a coach in your area. If money might be an issue, definitely talk about scholarships. That definitely helped me when I was rowing. But rowing has been something that can kind of open you up your horizons. So just try it out.
Do you have any favorite moments, maybe in high school or collegiately while you were rowing?
I loved every race I was with Marla. Great experience.
Thank you.
But actually, last year I had the opportunity to row at the Head of the Charles with Rowing in Color. And that was just a great experience, being around women who looked like me, and having this common goal was just a great experience that I wouldn't have the opportunity to do so if I hadn't had joined rowing.
Thank you once again. That was Ruth Brooks. She rows at Sacramento State. And I'm Marla Mundo with the Varsity Sports Show. Out.
Hello, folks. J.R. Lambright here, in a place where a game became a legend. In this part of our story, deep East Texas high school football became the stuff of modern myth. This was the era of the true fan, the community member that went to every game, that knew every player's name, and could tell you the story of a game that happened a decade ago, as if it were yesterday. This was a time when bonfires and pep rallies became sacred rituals, where a team's journey to the state championship was more than just a trip for the players, but an entire town piling into buses, cars, and trucks for a pilgrimage. Heroes walked among us, like Robert Hunt, who found his way from Burkeville, deep behind the Pine Curtain, to the NFL. Their stories weren't just about football. They were about the enduring spirit of the people in this place. They're in the memories of those who lived it, in the stories of triumph, of resilience, and of a shared pride that runs as deep as the roots in these East Texas pines.
And I'm here reporting live for Varsity Sports. Today we will be talking about Jayden Daniels' second year entering the NFL. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. The NFL season is finally here. Week 1 kicks off Thursday night with a classic NFC East rivalry, the Cowboys and Eagles under the lights. Now, unfortunately, I'm not here to discuss about that game. I'm here to talk about the Washington Commanders star quarterback and NFL 2024 Rookie of the Year, Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels showed right away in his NFL debut against the Buccaneers that he wasn't afraid of that moment. Even in a loss, he flashed his arm, his legs, and the confidence that would define his rookie year. Daniels had quite the impressive rookie season. He had a 69% completion rate, and he averaged 209 yards per game, ended up finishing with 25 touchdowns and having 9 interceptions. Daniels had quite the rookie season, going 12-5 with the Washington Commanders despite losing in the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles, which ended with a score of 55-23. Now, I'm not just here to talk about his highlights. The real question is, how will he operate for year 2? Defenses already have film on him, expectations are sky high, and history tells us the sophomore slump is kind of real. Plenty of young quarterbacks have exploded in year 1, only to struggle with the league's adjustments going forward into the next year. Can Daniels build on top of that hype and keep Washington into a playoff picture, or will the pressure catch up to him? That's my topic right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Heaven Cook, reporting live for Varsity Sports.
Good afternoon, this is Varsity Sports Show. My name is Rodolfo Gomez, reporting from Sacramento, California, about sports gambling, how it's affecting fans, players, and leagues across the country. Sports gambling is bigger than ever, but it's putting new pressure on athletes. Across leagues, players are facing waves of criticism, even threats, when they don't meet the numbers that fans bet on. The stakes aren't public. Some players are now being suspended as leagues investigate potential gambling violations, raising questions about fairness and integrity. Many athletes say that added scrutiny makes it harder to perform at their best, with every play carrying more than just the outcome of the game. Leagues are trying to balance the booming revenue from sports betting with the need to protect players from both public pressure and disciplinary action. As gambling becomes increasingly tied to the game, the challenge is clear. Can athletes compete without carrying the weight of somebody else's wager? With sports gambling comes great responsibility: how players perform, how fans react, and how we see player performances. From Varsity Sports Show, this was Rodolfo Gomez.
Hi, my name is Devin Blankenship. I'm an intern at the Varsity Sports Show, and in this video I'm going to talk about Sam Leavitt and why I believe he will be the 2025 Heisman Trophy winner for the Arizona State Sun Devils. In the Sun Devils season opener, Sam Leavitt clearly looked like the best player on the field without a doubt. He lit up the stat sheet, while some guys that are his competition didn't do so well in their Week 1 matchup. Filling up the stat sheet in Week 1 was one of the most important things Leavitt could have done, in my opinion, especially against an opponent like NAU, where he can just come out and dominate right from the jump. Some guys that are considered his toughest competition to win the Heisman include Arch Manning and Jeremiah Love, who neither of those two did particularly well in Week 1. Jeremiah Love, the running back for Notre Dame, a lot of people consider the best running back in the country, only had 33 yards on 10 carries in their game against Miami. Arch Manning, the quarterback for the Texas Longhorns, is another player that is considered to be potentially the favorite to win the Heisman. He's the projected number 1 overall pick in this upcoming draft. In their game against Ohio State, he failed to throw for over 200 yards. He also added an interception in their loss to open their season. With all that being said, nobody in the country had quite the day like Sam Leavitt did to open the season. Sam Leavitt threw for 250 yards on 25 completions. He also added 2 touchdowns through the air. He also ran the ball really well. He had 73 yards on the ground. He added 2 touchdowns on the ground as well, having about 330 total all-purpose yards with 4 total touchdowns. I firmly believe after starting the season 1-0, Sam Leavitt only catapulted himself towards the top of the Heisman rankings. I believe that Arizona State can go 12-0 this year, back-to-back Big 12 champs, find themselves right back in the college football playoff, hopefully getting a bye this year, and Sam Leavitt holding up the Heisman Trophy to end the season.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AA-PAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase.
Life at Cogier is full of warmth, connection, and adventure. Come and take a closer look at a new kind of senior living. Welcome to Cogier, where your next chapter is your best one yet.
Hey guys, Vince here from the Varsity Sports Show. Nothing beats a hometown touchdown, on the field and on the table. Join us at Zips or Goldie's, where families, friends, and teams come together for great food. They make everything fresh, like their hearty burgers or irresistible focaccias. The restaurants are family friendly with a huge menu and plenty of seating. Goldie's Sports Cafe is in Scottsdale at Via Linda and Mountain View Road, and Zips Sports Grill has 14 Valley locations. Come hungry, see you soon at Zips or Goldie's. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Whoa, what the hell?
The Total Marching Band is
And welcome back to our listeners live as we are back after a competitive, well, not a competitive, but a high-scoring second half from the home team in the Mountain View Toros. And Matthew, as we get back to our second half of play, what are the things you take away from that first half that really set this game where it is right now?
Mountain View looks good after losing to Liberty last week, right? Up 25-0, and it's been clicking on all cylinders. The offense, Goodman, Talon, the defense, the special teams. They've scored on special teams. I mean, it's been really good for them. So it's been something special to watch. And then on Mesa's side, it's just missed chances, right? They've let a lot of good passes go through their hands, and they've also not been a lot of good passes, some that have fallen at their feet that they could have had big plays on. So they're in this game if they can figure those out. But right now, it's a big hill to climb.
Absolutely, and I think you mentioned it well that on all phases of the games, offense, defense, special teams, I think Mountain View has done a very good job of competing and competing effectively in all phases. That's allowed them to kind of put this 25 points up because it hasn't come off from their offense. There was that block punt early in the early mid second quarter that put them up 25. It was the missed opportunities, like you mentioned, from the Mesa High Jackrabbits that have definitely helped this score look its way. But if there's anything, if you're a Mesa player, Mesa fan that might be listening, or a coach, what would have been your message to the team coming out here against the crosstown rivalry with about 30 minutes left in this game?
Um, Stay with what you've been doing in the first half. I know you're down 25 points, but you found rhythm. Offensively, especially, just stay and have belief in what you think you and what your identity is and what the scheme is. It's been working. Defensively, just continue to play with more pressure, getting pressure on the quarterback. I mean, I think 11. Yeah, so Mountain View had 18 offensive points in the first half. They had a special teams touchdown, so the defense hasn't been that bad either. So it looks a lot worse than it is. Mesa has actually not played that bad. It's just they need some longer drives and they really need to find the end zone.
And what are your thoughts on the musical chairs at quarterback that the Jackrabbits coaching staff has kind of went with? Let's be real. The coach mentioned to us that he wasn't too sure about his quarterback situation. He wasn't too sure about his quarterback situation. So what do you take of the inserting of Derek Carr and Hudson Minton back and forth interchangeably?
Well, it's whatever they want to do in terms of their scheme and what works best with their package because Carr has not really been willing to run. It's not been his thing. He's been more of the passing guy, and then they've had Minton come in when it's time to run or time to run an RPO or run a toss, and that has been kind of their MO so far, and it's working. They just have had a few plays that have stopped them from finding pay dirt.
So if you are the head coach, if you're the head coach for Mesa, who do you go with? Because I think we both kind of mentioned back and forth that those last couple drives, I think Derek Carr did a little bit of a better job of getting those throws to his receivers. I think both quarterbacks have struggled with their timing and their accuracy, but Carr, who was the guy last week that helped them win their first game and had a really good game, 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards, do you think he should be the guy here, or should they continue to kind of pull and put in and pull until they find the guy that best suits them to the remainder of this game?
They need to stay with Carr because they don't have enough time to try to. Well, they can pull if they're going to run certain plays that fit the package of men, but with Carr is their best chance to throw the ball down the field, and they don't have all day to really get these long methodical drives that take a bunch of time. And the run game hasn't been all too successful. It's been the passing game which has looked better, even though they haven't played to the passes from Carr. So let him find his rhythm, and especially to not to look towards the next week, but if you can get him on a rhythm, he's their starting quarterback. You can take that into next week as a success.
And speaking of rhythm in terms of the starting quarterback, let's go back to the big news that we kind of opened with. 3-star Utah State quarterback commit Brady Goodman, again, a guy last year, 43 touchdowns, 5 picks, led this team to the state championship. First game back after suffering that hard hit down in Liberty with that concussion. What do you think and what have you seen from him in his play? Obviously nothing special, but what are the things you take away that says, okay, this is the Brady Goodman that we have grown accustomed to?
Pocket awareness, right? I think he's been really good in that situation, getting the ball out when he needs to. I mean, he's been sacked once and it was on their first drive. He needed to get his feet under him. They got the screen passes going, especially to Talon. That worked. The run game's been going, so he's had a lot of fluid offense around him, which has gotten him into a rhythm. And he's been able to make accurate throws when he's been given time in the pocket. But when he's not, he's been able to roll out and still make positive plays for his offense. And that's what a quarterback's supposed to do as a team leader. Keep your offense functioning well and getting positive yardage even when not everything's going right. So he's had a good cast around him, and he's played well himself.
Speaking of his supporting cast around him that you just mentioned, Talon Arnett, a guy who we both really keyed in on when we were studying for this game, and he is not disappointed.
No, he hasn't. He's been really, really good. He has made sure to throw guys to the ground with force, and he has made the catches that he's needed to. He's taken screen passes a long way, and he's been really special thus far. And he's helped out blocking as well downfield. So it's been a little bit of everything that's kind of made him special thus far.
Absolutely. So we're about to be underway, folks. If you're at home, in about 4 seconds, we're going to kick this second half off. Again, the Mountain View Toros are up 25-0 over crosstown rival Mesa High Jackrabbits. Mountain View's going to kick this ball off to Mesa. And Matthew, what are you hoping to see from a Mesa High offense that hasn't been able to sustain any amount of success all game?
Find success in the passing game because that's what they need. Their only way back into this game is constant success through the passing game. I mean, the run game also has not, like I said, not been terrific. So I would like to see their offensive play get going through Carr, but they're not starting on offense, so they're going to need to get a stop immediately.
Yeah. Excuse me, I was incorrect. It looks like Mountain View is going to receive the kickoff. So Mountain View is going to start with the ball. I think your assessment on Mesa's offense is correct, though. Once they do get this ball back, they have to throw. In terms of Mountain View, look, they're up 25-0 to start this second half. And we're about to be underway to our listeners back at home. Another half of Toro football, as it is a short kickoff, and the returner is absolutely smacked by a Jackrabbit defender. And if, Matthew, if you're Mesa, that's how you want to start with a little physicality, right?
Well, they tried like an onside kick, and it didn't really work, but you got a big hit. Got the sideline jumping, so that's cool. But Mountain View has great field position now, so we'll see how that ends up.
And that's been the story all day. Mountain View has started up shop a lot on their 30, 40, on the opposing 40, sometimes the midfield mark, whereas Mesa all day has kind of started exactly out of the 20-yard line. So Goodman and company are going to set up shop for your Toros offense at about on the 33-yard line. So looks like, again, the offense is going to be able to start this with favorable field position. Looks like Goodman is going to operate out of shotgun formation. Got a bunch, two bunch formations with a couple receivers on each side of the field.
I think whoever sets the tone here will.
Goodman is going to sling that ball outside to his target. It's going to be a pickup of about 5 yards. So again, quick throws from the line of scrimmage, proving to be kind of like the running game of some sorts.
Yeah, I think whoever sets the tone here early is really going to run away with this game, if Mountain View does especially. And Mason needs to come out and hold strong defensively. 2nd and 6, good job getting to the receiver, but it's also a good play call there from Mountain View.
Goodman's going to operate out of shotgun. It's going to be another quick hitter to Talon Arnett, who is going to be upended after about a 3 or 4 yard gain. So again, another quick hitter to Talon Arnett, and that's going to set up 2nd and 6. So Mountain View methodically, and that is going to convert the first down. So that's going to pick up enough yardage for the offense, as again, looks like they're going to go with a little bit of tempo, Matthew.
Yep, a little bit of tempo, a little bit of screen passes, a little bit of here, a little bit of that. It's working. It's all working for them offensively. So, they talked about what they were going to do in this first possession out in the locker room.
Goodman's going to pump fake it. He's going to look deep, and he is going to miss him just a little bit far out for his intended receiver. And that was the first deep shot all day from Goodman and company, Matthew.
Well, it looks like in the locker room they talked about unleashing Goodman's arm. My goodness, that was a shot downfield. His arm's just too good. Overthrew the receiver who had more than a beat on the corner. And yeah, try that again if you're Mountain View, because that looked pretty good.
That definitely got the crowd jumping. Goodman's going to operate with no backs. He's going to fling the ball out really quickly to number 6.
Pass complete to number 6, Teo Weeks.
And number 6 is going to be Teo Weeks. That is going to be a quick out route for about 5 yards, Matthew. That's going to set up a 3rd and 5.
Another good. The short passing game's looked really good. This is what I've wanted Mesa to kind of do more of, like this short passing game that's just really easy to complete when the corners of the opposing team are really playing off in press coverage.
Looks like Goodman is going to look deep again, and this time he's going to hit Talon Arnett deep, and he's going to walk in the end zone, and that is going to be A Toro touchdown. Goodman to Arnett. The connection that keeps the Toros faithful going. And again, Matthew, Goodman at the beginning of this drive tried to stretch the field deep with his arm. It was a miss. This time to his favorite target in Talon Arnett results in 6 points.
What a throw. Hey, he took a little bit off of it this time, right? That was right on the money. He gave Arnett room to run under it and got to it. I mean, that's just a beautiful job all around. As Talon Arnett when I'll hold for the kicker. That's incredible from Mountain View. I think that's something that they've obviously talked about in the locker room. They want to get the deep ball going because the intermediate game hasn't been great. And that was quick.
Another quick 6 for the Toros offense as it looks like they're going to get out of an extra point formation. It's going to be a dive to number 0, and he's going to tack on 2 extra points for Mountain View. That is Talon Arnett again. So Talon Arnett, Matthew, is living in the end zone today for the Mountain View Toros.
Yeah, they're running up the score right now like you're playing Madden with your little brother. I mean, this is 33-0. I don't really know what the point of the 2-point conversion was, but nonetheless, it works for them. Why not? Something they probably practice a lot too, and they wanted to just get a feel for it in a game situation. So obviously it worked pretty well.
And that's going to add to the lead, 33-0. And folks, I must mention, if the Toros score 2 or more points, we are going to go to a running clock. So again, with the score of 33-0, with about 10:46 to go in the third quarter, your Toros are cruising at home in this crosstown rivalry in Mesa, Arizona. And Matthew, Goodman to Arnett, something that proved to be the difference to get them all the way to the state championship game last year, is proving it tonight in the home opener to pay dividends.
Did you say that if they score 2 more points, it's a running clock?
Yes.
Okay, 35-0. So, well, they got no faith that Mesa can bring this back. I don't know. Mesa just needs to shake that off and come back. They need to build up for next week as well. So they need to see if this offense can really be successful against a good team like Mountain View. You got to remember, this is still such a big rivalry game. This means so much to these players. So you want to see them have some success, especially with a Mesa crowd that has really showed out tonight.
This time, for the first time, Mesa is able to return a kickoff, and this ball is going to be settled at about the 23-yard line. So they're going to set up shop in a little bit better territory than they used to. Not by much, though, as the Jackrabbits offense is going to start at about the 23-yard line, Matthew.
Let's see what they can do. Let's see what they talked about at halftime, how they can get this offense going here, because it's been a up-and-down game, and now down 33 points with, not 22 minutes left. It's crunch time. You need to get going now.
Looks like Derek Carr is going to remain under center as a signal caller for the Mesa High Jackrabbits. Real Arnett in the backfield as well. And it is a handoff up the middle to Real Arnett. And he is going to shake off a couple Toros defenders. He's going to cut up to about the 36-yard line. So finally, a run play that results in a big chunk explosive play for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, great job there from Arnett. Just shedding off Mountain View defenders and getting a big gang, cutting it up across the midfield, getting into the secondary, who made a great shoestring tackle. Good start.
It's going to be another handoff to Arnett up the middle. He's going to spin into a few yards. That's going to be a pickoff of about 2 to 3 yards. So the Jackrabbits go back to their star player in Real Arnett. It's going to set up about 2nd and 8. Tackle on Cannon Rabin for the Toros.
Second down.
Looks like Carr is going to operate out of a shotgun with Arnett behind him. It's going to be a read option. He's going to flip it to Arnett, who is going to be met immediately, but falls forward for an extra few yards. And Arnett has done a good job all day, Matthew, of falling into yards. It's going to set up a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, he's had a good day. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't come out and thrown the ball. I mean, that's what really started working for them late. But what they've practiced, however they want to see succeed, whatever they want to see succeed here early. We'll give the coaches kind of a signal on what they want to bring into next week.
Carr and company is going to set up here with about 3rd and 7. Unfortunately, 3rd and 7 and beyond is kind of what they lived in here all day. Carr's going to take the snap. He's going to survey the field. He's going to look deep, and it is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Cameron Williams, and Cameron Williams was Derek Carr's top target last week in their first contest. And unfortunately, Matthew Carr, to to Cameron Williams has not paid dividends.
Not too much separation there, but nonetheless, you still got to give your receiver a chance, and that one was just way too overthrown. So it looks like Mesa's keeping the offense on the field. Go for fourth down. I mean, you have to, right? You're down 33. You have to go for this.
Yep, 4th and 7. 4 wide receiver set. Looks like Carr's going to roll, and he's going to be met in the backfield by number 56. It is a sack for the Toros. It is number 56, Jackson Walker. And again, Walker and the Toros defenders living in the backfield, Matthew.
He just came out of nowhere. I mean, that was really impressive. The speed at which he got the car was crazy speed, and that's just something that is God-given, but it's also coached, and that is just extremely impressive.
Absolutely. It looks like all day the Toros defenders have kind of lived in this backfield. And, folks, like I mentioned, it is 9-10, 33-0 Toros in the third quarter. And if they score here again, we will be going to a running clock, just for your information. Goodman and company is going to set up shop at about their own 40-yard line, the opponent's 40-yard line, excuse me. Goodman is going to keep this on a little quarterback keeper, and he's going to be upended after a gain of just one.
Brady Goodman, brought down by number 90, Malachi Inzunza.
Malachi Nzunza for the Jackrabbits meets Goodman. So that's what, the second quarterback keeper we've seen today?
Yeah, not a lot of quarterback keepers for Goodman, especially for what happened last week. But we'll see. They're going to keep it on the ground here, we think, try to waste a lot of time, especially.
With about 8:30 to go, Goodman's going to take this snap. Good little pass for us from the Jackrabbits, but it is a good strike to about the 18-yard line to number 6 for Mountain View.
Pass complete to number 6,
Teo Weeks, who is, I think this is his second reception in back-to-back drives. So Goodman starting to find other weapons other than Talon Arnett.
Goodman is so special. He literally just stepped up in the pocket in between two defenders and delivered a rifle. I mean, he's got an arm. He's got great pocket awareness, like I described earlier.
Quick hitter from Goodman to the outside to Zachary Galaviz. And we talked to the Galaviz family before. This is a guy who plays two positions. And, you know, his dad mentioned to me that this is the first year he's kind of got some action as a slot receiver. And this time he was on the outside. Matthew, he does a good job of receiving this catch and turning it upfield for a first down.
Yep, screen pass working well. It's been working well all day for Mountain View. And I would probably expect a run here this close into the end zone. Oh, no.
Goodman is going to take this and roll to his right. He's scanning the field, and he finds his man for a touchdown. This is going to be Goodman to Teo Weeks. So Teo Weeks, the last few possessions, has 3 catches. He moves the change on the previous possession, and this time he caps this drive off with a touchdown, Matthew. Goodman to Weeks, 39-0 with about 7:38 to go.
Surveying, touchdown. Goodman has been so good today. Good job by Weeks, too, creating separation. He's had a great day, especially on this drive. He's been wide open, and getting the feet in while falling down is pretty impressive as well. But Goodman's just been dicing it up out there. He's really looked so special, and you see what Utah State sees in him, and that's why he's committed to that school. But
absolutely,
he's a very talented player, as we're going to head to a running clock here soon.
Absolutely. So this is my first time seeing him. You know, I've heard a lot about him. He was the #1 quarterback by AZ Preps coming out of the summer, and he looks very decisive. This is a guy that, you know, Utah State isn't the biggest school. 3 stars isn't the most stars in the world. But when you're a quarterback as a junior in Goodman who led his team to the state championship, this is a gamer. This is a guy who can play the position at a very high level in 6A in a state in Arizona that's highly competitive. The point after is pending here, and it's going to make it a 40-point game if it is good for the Toros. And it is up, and it is good. So with about 7:38 to go in the third quarter, it is Mountain View Toros 40, Mesa Jackrabbits nothing.
I can tell you something about Goodman. He continues to play like this and be higher than a 3-star at the end of the year, that's for sure.
Absolutely. 100% agreement. 100% in agreement. As at this point, Matthew, if you're a Mesa, not a lot to hang your hat on. Very stark difference between how you felt this week versus how you felt this week. I mean, this week versus how you felt last week. Obviously, you were going against a Mountain View team who was a little bit more talented than your opponent last week, but not the way they wanted this one to go.
At this point for Mesa, it's just like, what plays have you practiced the most? What plays have you drilled down in practice that need to be successful in order for you to be successful in the game? Those are the plays you're going to see them running a lot here because the coach just wants to see them run a successful drive with plays that they've drilled down a lot that they can take into the future to be successful. A lot of successful, but they just need to just be successful in the plays that they've practiced a lot that they're going to take into next week. That's all he should want to see at this point.
And Joe Girard is going to put this one back through the end zone again for another touchback. That is going to make the Mesa Jackrabbits set up shop at the 20-yard line again, which has been a familiar statement from me. And I know that a lot of people at home might not understand the importance of this, but the fact that this kicker hasn't allowed any big returns has really made it hard for Mason to set up shop in favorable field position all day, Matthew.
And if you guys notice too, the clock has been running after the touchback. So it's incompletions, touchbacks, the clock's going to keep running. So, yeah, everything's been good for Mountain View today.
And it looks like there's another quarterback change as they put Minton back in the game. And as soon as he gets back in the game, he throws a strike to right at the sticks to number 12, Joe Haney. And Joe Haney has been in on a couple receptions today. He's definitely showed his value for this offense. Looks like Minton is going to operate out of shotgun here with Ray Arnett in the backfield. Is going to be a pass, and it is going to be a quick one to Joe Haney again. Haney is going to receive it at about the 36, turn up field, and get another 7-8 yards. So, obviously, this might be a Mountain View team, Matthew, that's kind of playing off with a 40-point lead. But if you're Mesa, you're looking for some type of success any way you can.
Yeah, you want to see some successful string of plays that they saw in the first half. I mean, they've come out and gotten blazed here in the second half, but it's important that Mesa finds success so they can watch for next week and film.
It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Arnett. He is initially met by a convoy of defensive linemen for the Toros, and then he stopped. But it is a flag on the play after the play. So this could be another one of those personal fouls that we've seen over the course of this game. And it's definitely a rivalry game. After the play, Matthew, there's been a few extracurricular activities happening.
Guys are upset, too. So, I mean, there's just a lot of emotions flowing. You're going to get it. It's football. It's contact.
Dead ball. Personal foul. 7. Dead ball.
Personal foul on the Toros.
So it's going to be a personal foul on Mountain View. Number 7, Israel Reyes. So, Matthew, if one thing I think we both can agree on, Mountain View has definitely had a few personal foul penalties that they do not want to continue into next week against better opponents.
Yeah, a few personal foul penalties that are really easy to use. Correct. I mean, it's just in a game like this, you can get away with it. But, yeah, it's something that is unnecessary and isn't helping your team in any way, obviously, to state the obvious. So, need to get rid of that. But, I mean, other than that, it's been a great day. And as I see that, it looks like Mountain View's backup quarterbacks could start to get warming up here on the sideline.
Minton's going to operate out of the shotgun here. He's going to receive the snap. It's going to be a fake handoff. He's going to keep it, and it's going to be not the biggest gain in the world as he's again met by a few Toros defenders. And today, Matthew, the Toros have done a good job as a unit defensively of honing on any receiver or ball carrier for the Jackrabbits.
They can really cap it off here with a 4th and 2 stop. That would be a big stop for them. Even when, like, Mountain View could let their focus go here up 40 points, but they're keeping locked in. That's a testament to how good their coaching staff is.
Looks like they're going to hand this ball off to Arnett, who's going to spin off, and he looks like he's going to fall in to the first down. So Mesa does a good job of few times today, but they keep this drive going, Matthew. Running clock here as we're under 4 minutes with about 3:40 to go. And if you're Mesa, I think they just kind of want to hold this ball here and string together some successful plays to carry on the next week.
And it's not just Mountain View. I appreciate both teams staying focused at this point in the game. It's going to be hard for kids when it's a 4-0 game to stay engaged, but both teams are. They know how important this can be for next week to get rhythm.
Minton's going to throw this ball to the outside. What a catch by the receiver for Mesa, number 82, Jaden Campos. Jaden Campos does a good job of high pointing that football. It was a high throw.
Yeah, good catch there. I guess another throw had to be a little off target by Mesa quarterback, but good job making it catchable for him.
Minton's going to take this ball, and he's going to throw it up to absolutely no one. Looks like his intended receiver there was Jaden Campos. But it was a little too far for Jaden Campos.
Yeah, a little too far. It was a good idea though, because he beat the corner off the line of scrimmage. It's just a little too far, a little too much anticipation there from the quarterback. So I would say let's try that again.
Absolutely. 3rd and 3 here. About 2 minutes to go for Mesa offense and company. Looks like Minton's going to operate out of the shotgun with Arnett behind him. Pistol formation, actually. He's going to receive this pass, and he's going to be sacked as a few defensive linemen for the Toros are in on the play. It's going to be number 3, Ruben Schrader. Excuse me, it's going to be number 3, Brody Anderson for Mountain View, and it's going to set up another 4th down here with about 1 minute to go, Matthew.
Yep. Another 4th and 3. I think it was 4th and 3 last time. Or no, it's 4th and 2. 4th and 3 here for Mesa to keep this drive going. Let's see how engaged they really are here, because this is important for them.
Big 4th down here for some pride. If you're a Jackrabbit fan, Minton's going to take this. It's going to be a throw, and immediately it's a bevy of pass rushers. But he does complete this pass to Rio Arnett, and Rio Arnett does a good job of turning this upfield. And shout out Zach Minton, Matthew. He does a good job of making nothing out of something.
Oh, nothing is taking it lightly. He had 4 or 5 Mountain View players right in his face, and he's able to find a wide open receiver who snuck out underneath. And great job. That's another 1st down on 4th down, so let's keep it going.
Hudson Minton is going to take this one. He's going to air it out. And again, it's going to be a receiver that is not in the area. That is number 4, intended for Darius Howard. And I don't know what Hudson is looking at here, Matthew.
He expected Darius Howard to come back to the ball. He didn't expect a go route, I think. That was thrown toward the sideline, a little miscommunication. Time to get that stuff ironed out in this type of game.
Absolutely, as Minton is going to try again. It is 2nd and 10 with about 30 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Minton is going to be throwing again. He's going to be looking, and he is going to be pressured. He evades it. He's going to throw deep to Darius Howard, and he hits him. And it is going to be a touchdown, Mesa. Hudson Minton to Darius Howard, and if you are the Mesa Jackrabbits, that is exactly what you were looking for.
I love it. That was a great ball. He got him deep. I mean, that was just special. He got open in between two coverage players. It's about time. They've had those opportunities all day, Mesa, and to finally complete one, they should have had more of these. You know what I mean? They should be up towards 20 points, but here we are. Nonetheless, great job, and they're on the board.
With about 16 seconds to go in the quarter, the Mesa Jackrabbits finally strike blood, but it is now 40-6 pending the extra point. And if you're Mesa, that's what you want to see. There's a reason why they've been rotating these quarterbacks, right, Matthew?
Yeah, that was a really good ball. It was a little wobbly, but nonetheless, it was a touchdown. I'm not sure if the running clock stays on now because it's below 35 points again, but nonetheless, touchdown and extra point.
So it's going to make the score your Mountain View Toros 41. Your Mesa Jack. Did they put a point? Did they put an extra point up there?
They just gave Mountain View a point. There we go. Come on now.
Oh.
They're selling the point.
Okay, they fixed it. Sorry, folks. For a second there, it looked like we had a little home clock cooking, but the score is fixed, and with about 16.4 seconds to go, it is Mountain View 40, Mesa 7.
Let's see what they can do now in this last quarter, Mesa.
And that eliminates the running clock to our listeners back at home as well.
All right, let's see if they can get some rhythm going. You never know what can happen. It's high school football.
So Mesa is going to kick this one. This is their first kickoff after scoring some points. And if you're Mesa and their coaching staff, and this is a team that, again, hasn't had a lot of success historically as a program. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Matthew, they haven't beaten Mountain View in 31 years. That's 3 decades. In the 90s and 80s, this was a very competitive rivalry between two teams in this state. And, it's still considered a big rivalry, just one-sided.
Yeah, I would say Mesa's about a year out from really competing, as they have a lot of JV guys that are really going to step up for them next. JV.
Oh, and it's going to be an onside kick. And Mesa's going to not recover. It's going to hit a Toros defender, and then it's going to be recovered by Mesa. So Mesa does a good job here of using the onside kick. Maybe an element surprise. I don't know if Mountain View was expecting this. It hits Talon Arnett there, and it then pops into a Jack. Oh, it's a Jackrabbit defender as
Ivy Reynolds. Please make your way to the concession stand and meet up with your mom. Ivy Reynolds.
as we have a missing.
Please make your way to the concession stand and meet up with your mom.
So for the Jackrabbits, Matthew, that's exactly the momentum you want. Obviously, we don't think this is going to propel them to any type of amazing comeback victory today. But in terms of momentum carrying to next week and beyond, this is not just a one-week season. There's 6 or 7, 8 more games. What do you take away from these sequences that we've seen thus far?
Who said they can't come back? I think they can. Yeah, I didn't expect that. That was really cool for them, and their sideline was going crazy. So that was really special to see. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, Mountain View's coaches are going to be all hung up in arms about that. But nonetheless, it's a great job from Mesa to convert the onside kick. Mountain View obviously wasn't expecting it, and they're now in business here offensively.
Absolutely. A chance to string together 2 straight possessions with scoring drives. As rightfully so, I agree. They keep Hudson Minton in this ball game. He's going to operate out of shotgun. He's going to take the snap. Good initial rush from the Toros defensive line. He evades the pressure, scanning, and he's just going to throw this in harm's way, but it's going to be caught. It was tipped by a Toros defender, and Darius Howard does a good job here of getting this tip and turning it into a 7-yard gain.
Wow, that was impressive. That ball was completely tipped, and it was caught. Wow, the fan section going crazy for Mountain View. It was caught, so nonetheless, a gain, 2nd and 3. Keep it going if you're Mesa.
2nd and 3 for the Jackrabbit offense. Minton receives a snap. He's going to roll. He's going to look, but he is met in the backfield by the defensive line, and then it is sacked by number 9 for Mountain View, Zach Bingham. But it is a flag on the play.
Holding number 15.
And it is going to be a holding on the offense of Mesa, but it is declined after that really good sack there from Bingham, Zach Bingham and company, as this is going to set up, which could have been a 3rd and short. Now, again, Mesa is in familiar territory, 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and 8, behind the sticks again. Let's see what the pass game can do.
3 wide receivers set. Minton's going to take this, and again, it's going to be a bevy of defenders that is going to collapse this pocket, and no chance for that play to be delivered, and it's going to bring up 4th and 8, 2-down territory with about 10 minutes to go.
I know he's not necessarily looking that way, but number 4 was wide open down the right side of the field for Mesa. Like,
Darius Howard. Howard's been open a few times today.
Wide open, like walking to the end zone open, but he's not looking that way. He's looking over to the left. It's where his first read is. So, nonetheless, they're going to go for 4th down here. It's a big play.
Timeout, Mesa.
Looks like it's going to be a timeout on Mesa with about 10 minutes and 28 seconds to go as your Toros lead 40-7 with an opportunity to get a turnover on downs in 4th and 8 and potentially really put this one, if it wasn't already on ice, right, Matthew? If this is a stop here in Mountain View and their potent offense.
Yeah, it's time for them to get going again for Mesa, convert a big 4th down. They've already done it a few times. They did it on the last drive before they got that touchdown. So let's see what they can do.
And after this, we're going to break, and we're going to be back after these few messages.
Hey fans, Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Whether you're running a business, protecting your home, or planning for the future, Hub International is your trusted independent insurance broker. They team up with top carriers like Auto Owners to deliver tailored coverage that fits your unique needs. From commercial and personal insurance to employee benefits and wealth management, Hub's got you covered. Visit Hub International and Auto Owners, where your goals meet our game plan. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the mic.
We're back for this pivotal 4th and 8 as Minton is going to roll, and he is going to look deep, and it is going to be picked off. That ball had no shot. That is intercepted by Cash Skuzin. Skuzin is still going, and it is a flag. We might get a block in the back of some sorts, and he is still going, and he's going to be upended around the 46-yard line, but there is a penalty on this play, and I'm wondering, Matthew, if it's going to be on a Toro defender after that return.
Well, this is one of those things where a coach just bat the ball down, right? I mean, you would have had the ball way farther up than if you intercepted it, but nonetheless, interception for your defense, rewarded by good pressure from the defensive line.
So with about 10 minutes to go, so it's a block below the waist like I suspected. So that is going to set back the Toros offense here in the fourth quarter with about 10 minutes to go, but it hasn't set back any points scored for this Toro offense all day, Matthew.
Yeah, nonetheless, still have the ball. That's just important for them, and a chance for to go get this running clock going again.
As this clock is going to go, as we're going to go under 10 minutes, Goodman, actually, Brock White, the backup quarterback, is going to enter the game as star quarterback Brady Goodman's night is done. It's going to be a handoff up the right side. Number 8, Cody Bodley. And we have a Jackrabbit defender who is hurt on the play. So, Matthew, Brady Goodman's day is done as Brock White, the backup, is going to get some mop-up work here with a 33-point lead. How do you assess Brady Goodman's performance tonight?
Looking like a star, didn't he? I mean, it was something really fun to watch. I know against Liberty it didn't always go great last week, but here against Mesa it's been a tale of two games, and I think this has been something that he can build off of, and it's something that recruits will be looking at, something that his ranking will be looking at, and it's just been his pocket awareness has been off the charts. He's been able to step up, avoid rushers. It's still deliver big throws like a quarterback. I haven't seen a quarterback be able to do it like him in a while. So this has been a special game for him.
Absolutely, as the Jackrabbits defender is still being tended to. So number 33, and that's not what you want to see. Even you're losing, haven't really been able to string any success on both sides of the field for too long, and now you have a player walking off this field a little gingerly as this game is going to wind down here with this running clock shortly. As Brock White in the offense and few backups for the Toros are going to trot back out on this field with a 2nd and 5. Some more opportunity to put some film out there if you're one of these young players who don't get to play a lot. And if you're Brock White, an opportunity to get some opportunities to get some tape as well as the backup.
Yeah.
White is going to take the snap. He's going to keep this one. White's going to turn this ball upfield. He's got the corner. He's got some speed. He's going to go to the 40, the 30, and he's going to be knocked down at about the 26-yard line. So like I mentioned, Brock White in mop-up duty shows off his legs. Matthew?
Yeah. Brock White showing off the wheels. I absolutely love it. That was a great job from Brock White on the read option play. And, yep, just getting past the defenders with ease. 24 does a good job tracking him down with a low tackle. That was the only thing he could do there with the low tackle. And Mountain View's back in business.
So Mountain View and Brock White after that rip of a run by the quarterback. It's another low snap. He's going to sling this to Talon Arnett, but it's going to be incomplete, and there's a flag on the play. Man, I feel like the Zebras have had a lot of action tonight. What you think, Matthew?
I mean, it's something for them to do, right?
Illegal formation. More than 4 in the backfield.
This is going to be a legal formation on the Toro offense. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. That's going to back up shop after that huge chunk run by Brock Wright in the Toros offense. So at about 8:45 to go, up 33 points. You're moving the ball down the field, but again, another little penalty for Mountain View that kind of stifles the drive a little bit.
Yep. Here we go. 1st and 15 now. They should still be fine. I would expect them to maybe keep this on the ground here.
White is going to operate here, and he's going to keep this ball again. He's going to get to that corner, and that speed is going to show up for Brock White. He's going to walk into the end zone, but it is another flag on the play. And, folks, that first Brock White rip was good, and this one might be coming back, Matthew.
Brock White's family is over to our right, and they are absolutely going crazy whenever he does anything. It's so special. It's so fun to watch.
And unfortunately, his family was hyped, but this play is going to come back as it is going to be a hold on the Toros. So unfortunately for Brock White and his family, that play doesn't count. But if you're Brock White and his family, their boy is showing off some supreme athleticism. When he gets to that corner, it's ball game.
Hey, I want to see him test that arm. I want to see what he can do here. 1st and 21, sling it.
And it's going to be 1st and 21 for the Toros offense after back-to-back penalties. So you might get your wish here. White might have to throw as White's going to operate here. He is going to look for a receiver. He is going to sling this deep. It is going to be almost intercepted and then subsequently almost caught after the tip by number 14 for Mountain View, but it falls through his hands and Sean Magnifer. So, Matthew, you did get your wish there.
Yeah, it was underthrown a little bit. Went right through the defender's hands. Should have been an interception, but nonetheless, they still have the ball and another chance for them to score here.
With about 7:40 to go, 2nd 21 for the Toros offense here. And here's the thing, it doesn't hurt to throw the ball because it's not like it's stopping the clock here. So if you were in a situation where these incompletions were kind of stopping the clock, it would be one thing. But why not air it out here when that clock is running? See what you got with Brock White.
It is under 35 points. I'm surprised they didn't go back to a running clock.
Hey, some home clock keeping as number 8 for the Toros is going to carry this up the field for a nice first down carry. That is Coy Bodley, excuse me. Nice carry by Bodley there, Matthew, to make this a 3rd and 10 after it was a 2nd and 21.
Yeah, the run game's working well, so might as well keep doing it. They're getting huge chunk plays, 11 yards gain on that, so 3rd and 10. I don't know about a run on 3rd and 10, but it's working really well for them. They're finding rhythm with it right now. They haven't had as much of all
White
game.
and Bodley in the backfield as White is going to sling this, and this time it is almost a touchdown pass. Looked like that was a good ball. It was intended for number 12, Vinny Urate. And unfortunately for White, Matthew, he does not hit that one.
Well, receiver out of step, right? Just a little bit overthrown. I mean, he's coming in a little cold, so I mean, it's going to happen. But nonetheless,
looks like they're going to go for it here with
they're going 4th and 10.
A rivalry game, right? 6:17 to go. They're going to let Brock White and the offense stay out here on this 4th and 10. White is going to land. It is another flag as White is going to throw an interception to number 6 for Mesa, Gabriel Vick, and Vick is going to take this up to the 30-yard line. So White throws this into the defender's hands here, but it is a flag on the play. So let's see what we have.
It's going to be a change of possession still. I think it's on the Toros. So I still like what I saw from Brock White. That's what's important here.
As White's going to throw the interception.
Yep.
That penalty for 12.
So the penalty was, you were correct, Matthew. It was a penalty on the Toros offense. It is negated by a Jackrabbit interception. So the Jackrabbits are going to take over at about their 30-yard line. And look, with about 6 minutes to go here, another opportunity for the offense to string together some success here to carry to next week. It's going to be a throw, and it is going to be out of the outstretched arms of the tight end. It was Hudson Minton. It was intended for number 85 for Mesa, Brax Caruso. And what did you see on that play, Matthew?
How many times has Mesa had a wide open receiver tonight and not been able to complete the pass? That's what I saw. It's they got to get these completed. I mean, especially for next week, they're really going to be able to do some damage against their future opponents so they can just complete these passes.
Minton is going to operate here, and he's going to look for a receiver, but is going to be flushed out of the pocket. He does take this up and does get some yards after a good scramper there after the penetration from the defensive line for the Toros.
Yeah, good job to read the room and get out of the pocket and pick up some positive yardage for your team. So 8 yards, matter of fact.
Absolutely.
So really good job.
Going to set up a 3rd and short here, 3rd and 2 to be exact. We're getting under 5 minutes, about 5 minutes flat to go here for the Jackrabbit offense. As Mitten is going to receive this snap. He's going to serve it in the field. He's going to throw. It is going to be knocked away. He had his receiver in number 16, Alex Gillis.
Play broken up by number 21.
It was broken up by number 21, Myron Christensen.
Brings up 4th down.
So it's going to bring up 4th down here. 4th down and short.
Obvious 4-down territory for Mesa. I would probably run the ball if I were them, but let's see what they try to do.
4th and 2 with about 4 minutes and 29 seconds for the Jackrabbit offense. Minton is going to operate out of the shotgun here. 4 wide receivers set to be exact. He's going to option this off. It is going to be fumbled. The ball is batted around. It is going to be recovered by, looks like the sideline for the Toros say they have it. No signal yet. Yes, it is. Number 23 comes up with the ball, and it is going to be another turnover recovered by number 23, Ivan Valenzuela. So Ivan Valenzuela and the Toros defense comes up with another turnover.
Yep, just a muff catch there. I mean, it was a fine option play. I actually really like the call. It's just slippery hands, and let's see what Mountain View tries to do here to tack on.
So Mountain View here with this running clock, about 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go, up 33 points. They've done a good job of just capitalizing off just a team in Mesa that looks outmatched, and the mistakes and penalties haven't helped. White is going to hand this ball up to Bodley, and Bodley is going to cut this up to about the 30-yard line.
Ball carried by number 8, Coy Bodley.
Coy Bodley has done a nice job of just seeing what's in front of him. Got a nice little 5-yard rip there.
Yep, they're just probably going to run the clock out here, I would think. See what they can get from Mesa. Just stand packed up front.
I agree with you as they're going to go a little hurry here. Probably going to be a handoff. We're going under 3 minutes here. White is going to operate under center. He's going to hand this off to Bodley. Bodley's going to cut this upfield for another nice, looks to be definitely almost, first down run. Might have been a carry of 11 or 12 yards there from Bodley as Chloe Bodley doing a good job of in relief of Steve Meadow ripping through the Toros defense.
Yep, this running game's decided to really get going now. Right, it's been the passing game all game for Mountain View, and they said, let's get everything going. Running game, passing game, special teams, defense, kicking game. It's been one of those games for Mountain View today.
As White is going to keep this one, and he's going to be met by a convoy of Jackrabbits defenders, so he's going to be knocked down.
Quarterback keeper number 10, Brock White. Quarterback Goodman. Wrapped up by number 6, Gabriel Vick.
As we're going to get under 2 minutes here, Matthew, and as we go under here, 2nd and 10, everything's kind of cosmetic at this point. So as we're about to wrap this one up, what did you see from Mountain View and their team today?
A star quarterback, a good defense, and a well-coached team. Not that Mesa isn't, but it's a little bit of a gap in situations from where these programs are. Mesa is probably going to really be special next year. They have a lot of really good players in JV coming up. And matter of fact, this year, Mesa's JV team beat Mountain View's JV team. So for the first time in 10 years. So Mesa's got a lot of guys coming up that are very impressive for them.
Absolutely. We talked to the coach, and I agree that the future is bright for Mesa. Just not enough today. Outmatched by just a little bit better talent of a team in Mountain View. White's going to take this ball. He's going to fling it into the back of the end zone. It is going to be another touchdown. Brock White to number 25 for Mountain View. Max Germain.
By number 25, Max Germain.
So Max Germain gets in on the touchdown party, and with a minute and 12 to go, the Toros add another score, and it's going to make it 46-7. So after getting beat 37-0, a week later, 46-7 for the Toros. That's exactly what they wanted to happen.
Yeah, they turned this game around, and for the Toros, they have a very tough schedule coming up the rest of this year. So a lot of good opponents. So it's good to get to finally find their footing and see if they can go on a streak now with their team feeling good.
Oh, and it's a play. Talon Arnett takes this snap, and he does not get in the end zone. As we've mentioned this in this cast, Arnett has done a good job of getting in the end zone by himself, whether it be touchdowns, 2-point conversions. But this time, Matthew, I don't know if it was a bot snap or that was by design, but, doesn't work.
If it is, they're just pulling out everything right now, Mountain View, right? Minute 12 left in this game. So I would like to see Mesa maybe maybe run some plays that they've run earlier that they felt that weren't very competitive and see if they can find some more success on them.
So with about a minute 12 to go, 46-7 for the Toros. As they score another touchdown, it has been a touchdown barrage for the Toros. Exactly what they wanted to respond with after a tough loss. And again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is a program, this is a team that last year when they lost to Liberty, they then rattled off 10 wins in a row all the way to the state championship. And they have the same guy at quarterback this year that they did last year. So this isn't just, a big-time win against a cross-rival. You kind of hope this is exactly what happened last year. This is a run all the way to the state title game.
Hey, Mountain View got to the 6A state title game last year. I want to see them get to the Open Division playoff this year, which is the 8 best teams in Arizona, no matter our conference, and I think they can do it. This team has the talent.
As it is another flag, more laundry on the field. About 47 seconds to go, as this clock is going to continue to run. And now it's stopped with about 44 to go. Let's see what this is. And it is a hurt Jackrabbit on the play.
I really think this Mountain View team, when they're playing together, has an opportunity to do something.
Hold, number 7, Mesa.
Looks like it is a hold on Mesa. So the penalty bug for the Jackrabbits remains true even with about 40 minutes to go, as Mountain View is just going to decline that penalty.
Yeah, back to what I was saying, I do think that when this team's playing together, they have a chance to really compete with the best in Arizona. I really do think that Mountain View can compete with the likes of Liberty and Bastia and Hamilton, who are probably your top 3 in the state at the moment. And some of those other teams like ALA, Queen Creek, and stuff like that are also up there. So this team has the talent. I think they can do it.
As the Jackrabbit player is walking gingerly off the field, we hope obviously he is good because, Mesa, this is just their second game, and it's not like they're going 0-2 or anything. They're back to 500 after going 1-0.
Yep.
There's some things to build off because I think, Matthew, you did a good job of kind of writing home the fact that there were plays out there today, just not a lot of capitalization.
A lot of plays out there for them today that I think they should have made. It's one of those games, you shake it off. You played a really good team in Mountain View, so when the schedule eases up a little bit, have more chance to win games, but their schedule's really hard as well. So get back home, play some home games, get that home. By the way, the Mesa away crowd really showed out today, so that was really
They
cool.
did. And this was a filled Toro Stadium here in Mesa, Arizona, and Toro Stadium, as the Toros are going to take a knee and they're going to take this one into the locker room with a 46-7 victory. Your Mountain View Toros, in their home opener, in their crosstown rivalry game, make it 32 years in a row with a victory over their rival in Mesa High Jackrabbits. We want to thank our folks on YouTube, on NFSH for listening. We thank you for listening. We thank you for watching this crosstown rivalry in Mesa, and we hope all our games next week you listen to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Andrew Hughes alongside my partner, Matthew McCord. And Matthew, as we wrap this broadcast up, what are you looking forward to next week for these two teams potentially?
Keeping it going for Mountain View against good opponents, and for Mesa, let's complete some of those throws that they know that could be completed. They have the talent to do it. So,
as the two teams are meeting in midfield, and even though, like you mentioned, was a lopsided result, Mesa's fans showed out today, and we thank you for listening, and we hope to hear you guys next week.